Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom to the worldwide family. Peaceful Sabbath as we get about our Abba's business today, y'all. We are not going to belabor it. We're going to get right to it. So wherever you're at on planet Earth, turn toward holy Jerusalem.
It just started charging.
Did it, brother?
Look at that. All right, family. We're going to get this opening prayer. And it is with the Most High's permission. And is in the name of his only begotten and beloved Son, our Lord and Savior, and he's all redeemed.
Yes, sir.
Yahushua HaMashiach. But we know him as Jesus the Christ, family. Long live the King.
Long live the King.
Reading in the book of Psalms, in the 53rd chapter, it reads,
Yes, sir.
The fool hath said in his heart, there is no God. Corrupt are they,
Yes, sir.
and have done abominable iniquity. There is none that doeth good. Yahweh looked down from heaven upon the children of men,
Yes, sir.
to see if there were any that did understand, that did seek Yahweh.
Yes, sir.
Every one of them is gone back. They are all together become filthy. There is none that doeth good. No, not one. Have the workers of iniquity no knowledge? Who eat up my people as they eat bread? They have not called upon Yah. There were they in great fear, where no fear was. But Yahweh hath scattered the bones of him that encampeth against thee.
Yes, sir.
Thou hast put them to shame, because Yah hath despised them. Oh, that the salvation of Israel were come out of Zion.
Yes, sir.
When Yah bringeth back the captivity of his people, Jacob shall rejoice, and Israel shall be glad.
Hallelujah!
Say what?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I'll be glad when Jacob be glad. We'll be glad, boy. Most High, let me join in on that gladness.
Put in a good word.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right, y'all. Once again, peaceful Sabbath today. Shabbat Shalom to all the family, y'all. Worldwide as we get about our Abba's business. Today's lesson, Spiritual World War III. And what we're talking about today is, as it's done in heaven, so is it on earth. Now, we've been talking about the world wars that's happening on planet Earth. And right now, they're at the brink. They're speaking of World War III. But all of this took place in the heaven that includes the 3 world wars that's taking place on earth. They're technically intertwined by prophecy. So we're going to go over the spiritual world wars that is happening leading up to the spiritual World War III, which is the second coming of Messiah. That's the spiritual World War III that's in, I say in conjunction, so to speak, with what they're talking about on planet Earth, World War III. Y'all, they all tie in together because they all fit into prophecy. But we're going to get some good understanding on this, y'all. We're going to get back before the creation of the world, so to speak, and get down and understand this world war that started in the heavens and still is continuing to this day. So y'all, with that, y'all know how we do. We always want to pray for our sick and shut in. Our usuals, you know, that we continue praying for their recovery. For the house of STLJudah, Sister Tashiba, praying for your continued, Shalom Rich, for your continued recovery. Also, the house of Uriah, Sister Hananiah, for continued healing. And also, y'all, our brother Judas, not Iscariot, rang the bell at the diagnosis center last week, y'all. So he's actually free of the plague that was tormenting him. Also to our family over in the homeland, our brother and uncle Akda, Yisrael, Emo Yisrael, and Emo Naomi, Shalom and shouts out to y'all. Am I missing anyone, y'all? Because I know it's somebody else. Enoch and Emo Ray for sure. Kane did come home last week, y'all. She's doing well. Still going through a minor recovery process. Just basically, y'all had to get a reset. And just so glad and thankful to the Most High that her family was here.
That's right.
You know, also to our Jeremiah, he's doing much better. Still got the boot on, but he just doing what we used to call back in the day a pimp walk, but it's just limping with one leg, you know. So yeah, catting around. Yeah, he doing okay. What you say? And also Alexis Burden is the daughter of Elijah and Miriam is still going through her process of returning back to full 100%. Just a little time. Just things have to be reset when you take a hit, you know. And that's what's happening now. She's doing well though. Anybody else, y'all, as far as is sick, you know, I just want to do. Yeah, we're gonna get Todd Shepard in there, and he's prayer, and that's our brother and our family that's locked down in the system, y'all. Truly in the belly of the beast. But his spirit is alive, and he do this work. Sister sent him a few photos of the brethren, you know, getting it in, letting them know that the whole congregation and our family is praying for him, that he may find peace, y'all, because he got a long walk. But we all do, whether in bondage or out, so to speak. We got to endure until the end. And who? Mercedes Montgomery, and who was the other? Estella Brown. And Estella Brown. Shouts out to y'all as well, and praying for power and strength, that you may find the Most High and enjoy the fruits of his of your labor, so to speak, by the fruits of the Spirit. Also, y'all, EMAW classes are going forward. They're every Tuesday, right, EMAW? So they're going, if y'all want to look at it, look at this past Tuesday EMAW class out there. What you got, mister?
I just want to request a prayer for my boss. She just lost her house in a fire.
Your daughter lost her house in the fire?
Yeah, she
Is she down in Houston?
No, she lives in Wentzville.
Oh, Wentzville, really?
Yeah, my son lives in Houston.
Okay, how are they doing physically? They doing okay?
She doing okay. There was none in the house when they had it.
Good.
When they came back, they was went out for an hour and a half. By the time they came back,
That quick gone.
they started from the fire to the top rope. She sleeps in the top rope. And she goes everything.
Oh boy, y'all.
I'm just saying a prayer because she just got. They said they could give it to I read like a townhouse. Right in the same division.
Right.
We just want to pray that they can head it so they can move.
Okay, so they're still in the same neighborhood, just, you know, until repairs are made if possible. We're praying for them, mister, that process is speedy and is sufficient for them. It won't be just like home, but, you know, you kind of got to start over. You know, y'all, and that's these walks that we face. We got to endure until the end. What you got over there, too, Bob?
Got Sherry Patton in the chat. Shalom, family. Me.
Shalom, Sister Sharon Patton.
I'm sorry about that. Mom and you, but she met Mom and me asking for prayers. They both sick. They can't shake the cough they got.
Yeah, y'all, and it's a lot of things out there in the air now. A lot of things, y'all. A lot of sickness in the air, y'all. And that's one thing about it. There's one thing we can't do. We can't go get clean air. We can't buy it from anywhere. We can't manufacture it. We have to accept what's in the atmosphere and pray that no weapon formed against us will prosper, you know, and keep our lungs sufficient, and we keep ourselves, our immune system boosted up, and we'll be able to fight those things off, y'all. But it's bad out here, y'all, because of the things they're using to gain money is also causing death.
Exactly.
Chemtrails. Y'all, did y'all look at y'all car just yesterday? All of them look like grass seeds was all over. Now that's in the air. Now you think about you out in there, you breathing that in.
Yeah, measles making a comeback.
Measles making a comeback. Birds flu. But y'all, we may be opening up these seals, y'all, in Revelations we're talking about from the 6th chapter through the 8th chapter, y'all, seals could be unleashed and open, and these plagues are hitting earth.
Yes, sir.
Y'all, we got to stay focused. We got to stay on this word, because just like in Egypt, it'll pass over us. You be able, it jump on you, you be able to kick it right off you.
Right.
Don't let it get in your chest, y'all. Once it get in the chest, it's going to be rough. So y'all also just want to continue give shouts out to our family that support the ministry. You know, shouts out to all y'all that sent in a donation as far as the Purim celebration that will be this coming Thursday, March the 13th. So y'all who sent in donations to ensure that we get the items needed for the homeless, thank y'all so much. And just to our supporters that support this ministry and the radio station, support to our G Montgomery out there in Virginia. Also Eric Coyle, our sister Anna, Lakeisha Giles, Beautiful Creations, that's that Warren Eleazar, and Sister Olivia. Also shouts out to Skinny Black and Sister Crystal and the fam.
Yes, sir.
And shouts out to that Don't Ask No More. Shouts out Don't Ask No More. We won't ask. You know, you just let us know when you want to shout out to you. Yes, sir. Also, shouts out to LAG, those initials, but LAG out there in Apopka, Florida. APOPKA. Is I saying that right?
Good question.
Apopka, Florida. Shouts out to you, bruh. And thank all y'all so much for the continued support. Y'all, we will, as long as the Most High puts strength in our body, continue to spread this word, to give us instructions as we get closer to the final days. Y'all, one day closer to Holy Jerusalem. So y'all, we got to get prepared, because he went to prepare a place for a prepared people.
Right.
You're not coming in there and you ain't prepared. It just ain't going to happen. You're not coming in there unprepared, looking around, where do I sit or where do I go? No, ain't going to be none of that. Because this a list you got to be on. Can't nobody vouch for you. Your name must be in that book called the Book of Life to get into that wedding ceremony. If it ain't no need in asking for the hookup, because it ain't going to be none. No. So again, once y'all today's lesson, Spiritual World War III. And also shouts out Continue Recovery for our brother Big Country as well. Spiritual World War III. So y'all, we're going to tie this in and see where all this trouble on earth came from and what started it, and how these three wars play into each other, both spiritual and fleshly, or the physical here on earth, how they tie in together. So this will eliminate people chasing those YouTube videos out there. Some things we're going to cover today. Shalom, AZ Ben Yehuda. We're going to cover today different things like what dinosaurs did they get on the ark? What era or time span was dinosaurs found? Mammoth elephants, saber-toothed tigers, the dead bodies of the giants during the flood and after. So those are a lot of things we'll cover in these scriptures today. But they'll be covered with understanding. And what I mean by understanding is they'll be covered to a point that they let you know how all of it's intertwined, and you can't go outside of Genesis to Revelation because it covers it all. You're going to hear strange doctrines out there, y'all. There's a bunch of strange doctrines out there. And I mean, you got these Pharisees and Sadducees, y'all, these modern day Pharisees and Sadducees coming with that leavening. Y'all, and what that leavening doctrine is, I'm going to just explain it quickly so we can get on. It's like the class we did last week about Jephthah offering his daughter as a burnt sacrifice. And these haters out here, these modern day Pharisees, look, they be at each other one week, but then when they hear something about the Bible that's 100% truth and no falsehood in it, then they get together after they were battling with each other to come against the gospel. And each one of them got a different gospel, but you know what each one of them are? They're offshoots of a tree, of a rotten tree that cannot bear fruit. Both of them don't believe the Bible, or all three groups, whichever ones it is, they say there's a problem in the Bible somewhere. That's why they Pharisees and Sadducees, and why they can hang together after beating each other up. They'll hang right back together, and they'll come together with different doctrine against the gospel, because what they're doing is they're attacking the Father. Based on what they're seeing Jephthah in Judges 11 received the Holy Spirit after his vow. So what they're basically saying is the vow he made, the Most High said, yes, I'm going to let you sacrifice your daughter in real fire. They're thinking that, and then I'm going to put my Holy Spirit on you so you can do it. And then before he go to the war of victory, he asked the Most High again, or after the victory, he said, I'm going to put my spirit on you again. I'm going to keep my spirit on you. There's nowhere in this scripture that the spirit is put on an individual and he do evil and God lets him have it. No, these are these Pharisees and Sadducees that what they're doing, they're making good evil. They want you to believe that God is doing human sacrifices, which the scripture don't allow. But in the same breath, you better watch it, because you're on the level of blaspheming the Holy Spirit. If you say the Most High give a man the Holy Spirit and let him keep it and don't show his destruction, after doing a crime against his laws, then you're talking about the Most High is the devil. That's what you're doing. You're tap dancing on shaky ground because you don't believe this word. You're trying to come up against it with your own doctrine. See, because when you get under the curse of the law and you teach the curse of the law, they have to keep the people feeling like they need them. Y'all understand what I'm saying? The curse of the law always make you figuring, I'm doing something wrong. I know I'm doing something wrong. Should I lock the door? It's the Sabbath. Should I go to the store? And do I drive on the right side of the street? They always have you feeling on edge. That's the whole thing. Keep you on edge, always feeling like there's a guilt trip hanging over your head, like you like Slip Rock. And you know the boy that had the cloud over his head. What was it? And the Peanuts, Slip Rock and the Peanuts boy. They had a cloud hanging over his head. Yeah, always had that cloud. That's where they want you at. Always. That's why they always debate. That's why they always going law to law with each other and don't know the law. Because they justify what's on the felony list. If an individual finds himself on that felony list and once he's caught currently active on this felony list, we're not talking about you done got through and you got off that list and it's been years ago. We're talking about currently on it, they find justification for it. Well, he ain't that bad. Oh, okay. But y'all, we ain't going to belabor that too much, but if any of y'all read that from Judges chapter 11, verse 1 through the end, and you still think there was a young lady put on fire and burnt up, and God said, it's okay, I like what you did, I like your vow. Those are the most wicked people on this earth, y'all. Ain't no needing us BSing it, ain't no needing us playing around with it. It's exactly what they mean. They're not talking about us as believers. They're saying God is a murderer and he's a hypocrite of his own word. That's what's coming out of their mouth. Because the law of God and the truth of God will never allow him to break his own rules.
Thank you. Say Judges what?
11th chapter. And when you get into the 12th chapter, you're going to see the Lord still dealing with Jephthah. And when he died, and he don't die in dishonor. See, these men have to make everybody in the Bible at fault with some kind of fault to keep control of you. And we're talking about these Pharisees who will get together and anoint each other and tell them that they the best human being and ain't nobody doing no work like them, blow smoke up their rear end, and then the next thing they together, and then come against the gospel. And then at the next week they'll be odds with one another again. Y'all, we ain't got time for that foolishness, and we ain't gonna deal with it. And y'all shouldn't have to deal with it either if you know they're saying God breaks his own commandments. Get away from them. Spiritual World War III, y'all. We're going to put this together. Y'all know how we get down. Our one and only high priest, Yeshua HaMashiach, locally known as Jesus the Christ. He brings forth the truth after the order of Melchizedek, the law to every male, female, rich, poor, free, bond, Jew, or Gentile. What you got, bro?
I've got a question in the chat. Mary Turner asks, I have a question. Is it lawful to fast?
That's Marie. That's Riri. Go ahead.
He says it's lawful to fast on the Sabbath.
Well, y'all, we have to understand we have to fast when the bridegroom is not with us. Christ is not with us. When he was on this earth, he didn't allow us to fast while he's with us. Because what's the need of fasting if the bridegroom is with you? So he said, you're going to fast and pray when I go away till I come back. You know, it's going to be times in your life that you're going to have to go solo or you're going to have to dig deep. And that means you may have to get into sackcloth and ashes. But the Sabbath is a feast day. So let's get that understood. The debate out there about fasting on the Sabbath and different things, when you look at Leviticus 23, it's the very first feast day on the list. But it goes back to the garden feast day, the seventh day he rested. That's the feast, so we have to look at every feast that way. So Adam tilled the ground and he was given everything that he needed to sustain life at that point. It's not the Sabbath or rest what you think about that feast day when the man was picking up sticks. It's not at fault. We're not under the curse of the law of the Sabbath day. But the truth of it, seeking that eternal rest. You keep worrying about this Sabbath, and I'm not saying don't worry about it and go break it or do whatever you're doing, but I'm saying when Monday or Sunday morning, the first day of the week, you're going back to labor. And you're going to sweat from the sweat of your brow. Those who go to labor. I'm not talking about the idle minders that sit around and ain't got nothing all day to do. Not talking about them. Yo, so we want to just keep our minds clear, y'all, of all the activity that's out there. That's trying to lead us down the other way, y'all, and it's going to be our own people. And it's these quick looks at YouTube videos and they turn them upside down. You're looking for a quick fix to this word. Now, we done went over what happened in Genesis and what happened during the flood, but every time these things come up, as we get closer, there's more information going to be revealed to us. As we get closer, it's revealed because you're long-suffering. You will never master one subject in this Bible and you ain't went through every 4 sides of it.
And if you just looking at a YouTube video and you didn't research it yourself,
yes, sir,
and you're regurgitating
that's what you're doing, yeah.
Come on now.
It's going to cause you problems.
At least put in some effort to research.
Some effort to counteract against the other thing. And see, when we was talking about Judges 11, these naysayers or these commandment followers of men who deny the Messiah, how he came into this world and deny the Father's truth and his law. Those crazies would have you to believe, that's the only part with Paul I'm having a problem with. You know, once you hear that, you know that they are not a believer. I don't care whatever else they say they believe, they're not a believer. It's either all or nothing with this, y'all. You push all your chips to the center of the table or you don't. How you going to believe something that half work? If you're saying that the Messiah, how is the Messiah going to shed his blood for us and you say he came in under sinful blood? Right. It don't make sense, do it? Like you're saying, how is the Father going to tell us about sacrifice and he's ordering Molech work? Y'all, it's just tomfoolery, y'all. It's time out for us to keep being like children. We have to be men and women in this walk. So, y'all, let's get down to it and see what the script say. What you got, sis? You can. It all depends on what's going on in your life. If you having a terrible time and you dealing with somebody or is somebody that got a legion of demons on them, you can't pass that up if that demon whooping them up on the Sabbath. You got to fast and pray for them individuals on that day. But what they're trying to make it is a curse of the law. But you can't have feast and don't eat. Y'all, look, we're feasting off of the word right now. See, everybody is always thinking physical. We're feasting even though if we didn't eat nothing today and we go over the word, we're still feasting. That's right. Right? That's right. But what we can't do is say, well, I was thinking about fasting today, so I ain't going to do no feast, and I ain't going to even go into the word today. Well, you can't fast either because you ain't got no instructions now. Right. Y'all, it's not hard. They're making it hard for us. They're always finding a fault, and then you always feel guilty. Y'all understand what I'm saying? To have guilt hanging over your head and you know you're innocent. Right. And then you start entertaining. Hell, maybe I am guilty. No, you ain't. It's just you have doubt. They're creating doubt for you because you let them dictate the scripture to you. They're outside.
Maybe you need to cut your Wi-Fi off.
Right.
That's what they probably need to do, bro. Yes, sir. Well, y'all, let's get into this, y'all. So, spiritual world war. What happened in the war before Earth was created, or what we talking about, Adam and Eve, y'all? We got to tie this all in together, y'all. We're going to deal with this war. We're going to deal with what we call supernatural beasts. Things that this war, when it's supernatural, compared to the two most greatest beasts that ever roamed planet Earth, so to speak, Leviathan and Behemoth. And they're going to be compared, because they are the super beasts on Earth, they're going to be compared with supernatural superpowers, so to speak. These beasts are going to be compared to an individual, and this one is going to be compared to another supernatural individual. But when we tie it all in together, you're going to understand it perfectly. But yes, you can fast on the Sabbath if we want to get down to it. Yes, you can. The Sabbath was made for who?
Man.
Not man for the what?
Sabbath.
So we have to understand that when you in trouble, the Sabbath don't override you. If fasting need to be put, that's what it means to keep the day holy. If you praying for somebody, or you fasting about somebody that's sick, or the devil got hold of them, ain't that good to do good on the Sabbath?
Yes, sir.
See, what they'll prevent you from, they would stop you from even, your child could be choking. They be like, no, that Heimlich maneuver gonna be work. Either he coughing up himself, or he shouldn't be eating no damn way. See, that's what you will get. They'll blame you, and you'll sit there and watch a child, or I don't want to do it. It's because it's the Sabbath. I don't want to do it. And they keep you in bondage. Versus these scripts say the truth shall set you what?
Free.
It don't set you in jail, do it?
No.
Who has something back there? Y'all good? Okay, y'all. So we're gonna go ahead and get this, y'all. But first, because we're talking about that war in heaven, all of the naysayers in the videos you're going to get out there, it's called something called the Mesozoic era. So we want to start there to let you know where we're going and how far we're going back. To make some understand, to get rid of evolution. We want to get rid of that. Because that's not involved in these scriptures. It keep you guessing and keep a hole in there. So you always wonder about how we know. How we know the Bible, how you know who you are, how you know you ain't adopted.
Don't be talking about my mama.
Yeah, you don't look like nobody else in your family, and then that'll bring more confusion, so we ain't gonna do that too. Wait, go ahead, Zed. What is it, Mesozoic?
Mesozoic.
Thank you, bro. Era.
Mesozoic.
Era. That's a time period. Go ahead. Zed, what do you say about that?
Relating to or devoting the era between Paleozoic and Cenozoic eras, comprising the Jurassic and Jurassic and Cretaceous periods.
So Jurassic, what they're talking about is ages before Adam and Eve. Like you have Jurassic Park. And every Jurassic movie, what animals do you always see in Jurassic? T-Rex and who else? The dinosaur, right? So basically what they're saying is there was a time when that era was on planet Earth. The only problem is they say it was 10 billion years ago, 20 billion years ago. So what we have to do, because we know the Earth that we live in now is only 6,000 to 12,000 years. Each day was 1,000 years, so 7 days, that's 7,000 years. 5,000 years to the Messiah was show, so 7 and 5 is we right at 12,000, 13,000 years that this earth has been around. Y'all understand what I'm saying? Now there was time before that we have to account for, but it's gonna be inside of Genesis and Revelations too, y'all. Go ahead, what you guys there?
Wikipedia says is the area of Earth's geological history lasting from about 252 to 66 million years ago, comprising of Jurassic, Jurassic, and Cretaceous periods. It is characterized by the dominance of Archaeasian reptiles such as dinosaurs and gymnosperm.
So, y'all, this, because we still have to answer. Did dinosaurs roam this earth? I'm talking about things that dig out of earth like saber-toothed tigers and mammoth elephants. Did those roam the earth between Adam and the flood? Did they get on the ark? Some people say dinosaurs too big to get on the ark. Well, the ark was 50 feet high. The tallest dinosaur is 29 feet, 30 feet tall. So that leaves room of 20 feet if it was to get on the ark. So we can't say they couldn't have fit on there. The problem is, were they in existence during that time, or was it before this era that Zeb is speaking of, the Jurassic area? Y'all, all these things we have to know because they all intertwine into the whole scope of things, of the whole duty of man, of what the Most High is saying, because everything must return back to pure righteousness. And that means what happened in that war, that have to be straightened out way before Adam was thought of. And y'all, we're going to get into that so it makes it crystal clear. And then you understand what caused Satan fall. And you'll see here in different things, also the beast that was involved with the war in heaven. Because everything he taught up there to con them third of the angels, he taught to mankind down here the same thing. How to make the same weapons, how to mix species, and this is where we're getting a lot of these species found. But it's going to be a thing, too, that where most of these species are found at, it's a certain region on planet Earth, and it has a connection to the north. But we're going to get into all of that, y'all, so we ain't going to belabor it no more. And like I say, we'll be dealing with the two most monstrous, or what we say, giants that we are compared to, Behemoth and Leviathan. Spiritual power, so to speak, that's greater than the powers that's on earth, and they're compared as such. But we're going to keep seeing one compared to a dragon. We're going to keep seeing that. So y'all, let's get at it. Revelation 12. This is where the war starts, y'all. And as we go along, y'all going to be like, oh, that's what that means. Oh, that's what that means. Y'all, that's where we have to be, because this is class, y'all. You ain't going to get class like this in YouTube. You know why? Because you can't answer if you have a question. There's a side for you that's going to be left closed. You can only put a comment in, but the comment ain't asking, don't get to ask the question. The question that we'll ask you when you bring the video to us. Well, I don't know about that. Well, you didn't think to Google that, because you can Google the other side of these questions. But most people don't want to see the other side. Now I got to think differently. I got my mind set this way.
Most of them want you to agree with what they thinking.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Let's get it, y'all.
All right, family. We're going to be reading in the book of Revelation, chapter 12. Start reading in verse 1.
Yes, sir.
It reads, "And there appeared a great wonder in heaven."
What was the wonder at?
In heaven.
Uh-huh.
A woman clothed with the sun, and the moon under her feet, and upon her head a crown of 12 stars.
Okay, so this is speaking allegorically, so to speak. Go ahead.
And she, being with child, cried, travailing in birth, and pain to be delivered. And there appeared another wonder in heaven.
Uh-huh.
And behold, a great red dragon.
What kind of dragon?
A great red dragon.
Uh-huh.
Having 7 heads and 10 horns, and 7 crowns upon his head.
So this is the wonder. The first 2 verses are talking about 2 groups of people set at war. One have 12 stars on his head represent, and the other one have 10 represent. So we'll see that how this starts to fit into the book of Daniel. The 10 toes of the beast. Go ahead, read some more.
But I got a second witness.
Go ahead.
Revelation chapter 17, verse 12.
Uh-huh.
And the 10 horns which thou sawest are the 10 kings which have received no kingdoms as yet, but receive power as kings 1 hour with the beast.
So we're going to see how both these wars tie in, y'all, because what it's showing us is the war in heaven that's already taken place and where it's going to lead to on planet Earth. Y'all, and look, carbon dating that people use to so-called tell how old something is, there ain't nothing out there more carbon dating than a tree. A tree, if you cut it down, however many rings in it, tell you how old that tree is.
Let me see you count
Carbon
the rings.
dating at best, carbon dating at best can only do 30 to 50,000 years on a good day with a clean laboratory. How then does it measure 100,000 years, let alone 24 billion years? Your system can barely get to, it can't get to 50,000. How then do you use that same unit to measure 24 billion? Do that make sense? But this is what they want us to believe. They'll holler carbon dating, but if y'all Google carbon dating right now, the length of carbon dating is going to tell you 30 to 50,000 years at its best. So what do? We go by what's here on earth. We want to know how old a tree is or different things you can tell. If it's one, cut it down. The number of rings on it will tell you how old a tree is. There's other items out here that tell you how old that specific entity is, so to speak, whether it's plant, animal, or whatever it may be. It tells you the age. But when we get into endless genealogy, like the Big Bang and all of those things, no. If they drop a nuclear, that's a Big Bang, ain't it? Do anything grow back from it? Have anything grow back from that Big Bang of Sodom and Gomorrah when them brimstone and hailstones hit them? Have anything grow back? Because they say it's still a salt plain to this day. The Dead Sea ain't recovered, have it? No. The Dead Sea was in Sodom and Gomorrah when that brimstone. But the only thing about it is nothing can live in it, but nothing will rust in it. You could put a metal pipe in the Dead Sea. The part that's under the water will never rust. It's the part that's above it will rust. Nothing can swim in it. There's no marine life in it at all. Nothing is crystal clear, and nothing will rust in it. It's called the Dead Sea. Or right there at Sodom and Gomorrah. Let's read some more, y'all.
Verse 4.
Yeah.
And his tail drew the third part of the stars of heaven, and did cast them to the earth. And the dragon stood before the woman, which was ready to be delivered, for to devour her child as soon as it was born.
So this is the devil, or it drew a third part of the stars, or when we get into Job 38, you're going to see stars are also a representation for angels, because we're in heaven now. Y'all understand? So it drew a third part of that. And we're not talking about the stars that were created on the fourth day. We're talking about before that. It drew a third of them. So the language lends to be that this dragon drew a third of the angels with him for a walk. Go ahead. What else to say?
Verse 5.
Yeah.
And she brought forth a man-child, who was to rule all nations.
How many nations?
All nations with a rod of iron. And her child was caught up unto Yahweh and to his throne.
So we see this all throughout the Bible. This child caught up to his throne. It's in the book of Daniel. It's in Ezekiel. It's in Enoch chapter 46 through 48 chapter. That this child caught up to heaven and sitting next to the throne. Go ahead. That's who we're after, the Messiah. So that's what the war is. It's about that child. When the Messiah is born through that offspring. Go ahead.
Verse 6.
Yeah.
And the woman fled into the wilderness, where she had the place prepared of Yahweh.
Y'all see again, a prepared place, y'all. Go ahead.
That they should feed her there 1,260 days. And there was war in heaven.
What was there in heaven?
There was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon.
Right.
And the dragon fought, and his angels.
So we're seeing this dragon, y'all, repeatedly, because this dragon is in rebellious state. That's why he's been called at his lowest state, a dragon. And when we hear about that, that tells us to look out for it, don't it? Because it's not talking about him in his righteousness, so to speak. It's talking about him as an enemy, the dragon. And Michael and his angels. See, Michael is being called by his angelic name. Y'all understand? It ain't dropped, but who he warned against, his name used to be something else. But he's a dirty dog now. So he had the Holy Spirit in him because he led the choir in heaven, so to speak. He was the music man. And we're speaking of Lucifer, who's now the devil or the serpent or that old dragon. So he was cast out and the Holy Spirit was removed from him. See, this is what we're talking about, them idiots that keep on trying to make Jephthah an evil man and burn his daughter up on a fire. You don't get the Holy Spirit do wickedness and it stay with you. Right. If that's the case, it'll still be with the devil. Right. It'll still be with Judas Iscariot. But each one of them got punished when the Holy Spirit was on them and they did evil. So when you say Jephthah did evil and the Lord signed off on it, what you're saying basically is evil is good. Evil is good. And you start singing like Eddie Murphy and Vampire Brooklyn.
That's sure what it sounds like.
Right.
Get some more, bro.
Verse 8.
Yeah.
And prevailed not.
What did it do?
Prevailed not. Neither was their place found anymore in heaven.
Get out of here. You got to get out of here. See, that was a separation of the tares and the wheat. Right. Now, that tare get to come back and accuse us, but he don't get to be in the part of righteousness. He can only come up to the tare part. So if he's not allowed back in that realm, then it don't mean that for us on here on earth that you mix all Israel together because they know they Israel, whether it's they believe in the Messiah or not. That ain't in these scriptures. You kick them out. You're going to be in the same neighborhood possibly, but they got to get out of your house. They're not your friends, y'all. They don't mean you know no good. They come in to destroy what you got. And they do it by one that's lusting for power. They'll come in and they'll have this individual so full of pride with the prideliness that they got, and you look at who's pumping me up and you look at them, but you raggedy as a can of sauerkraut. You raggedy as hobo teeth and you bringing me a doctrine? What you got over there? Who got a question over there? Go ahead.
So we actually talking about a time when Satan was kicked out of heaven.
Yeah, we're going back to that. We're going back before Genesis 1:1. This is what we call the spiritual First World War that included heaven and earth. Because earth wars are included with the spiritual because we're going to see why. Keep reading a little bit, bro. What verse he was in?
Verse 9.
Yeah, go ahead.
And the great dragon was cast out. That old serpent.
That old what?
That old serpent called the devil and Satan. Which deceived the whole world.
Who he deceived?
The whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him.
So it get clear after we get through with this, it explains who was fighting and who got thrown out. The devil, that old serpent, and we're going to get his name before he was cast out because he was righteous at one point. Go ahead, what else to say?
Verse 10.
Yeah.
And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now is come salvation and strength and the kingdom of our Elohim and the power of his Hamashiach.
Yes, sir.
For the accuser of our brethren is cast down.
What is he called? The what?
The accuser of our brethren is cast down. Which accused them before our Elohim day and night.
So, y'all, this is the best that the devil got. He's an accuser. So what could he be accusing you of to our God? What do he know our God required that he would accuse you? Doing what? Law keeping, disobedience. Not law keeping, disobedience. That's what he's going to accuse you of. He broke your law. Like in Job 1, Satan, what you want? He know he can't get into that realm, but he can come and accuse right to a certain level because he's the prince of traffic, of the airways. So he can rise a little bit because remember, spiritual wickedness in what kind of place? So he's right there, the prince of the air. So he's in that firmament area. He can get in there and he say, look, your servant down there. I've been checking on him and had a few familiar spirits following him. He don't care nothing about you. He doubles back in a back door that says sneak in only. That's your servant. Only. Yeah, so I ain't gonna go no more than that either. I can't. But so what happens is you know he it's being explained that this is what's causing these problems. You got an individual who's now accusing us of nothing more than law breaking. It's the only thing he accused. What did the prosecutor accuse you of? Of what? Y'all, it's set up the same way. As it is in heaven, it's on earth the same way. You have a prosecutor and you have a defender. The problem is you don't want a public defender.
Right.
A public defender may be a Pharisee or one of these camp Negroes. That's a public defender. You get what you pay for. And since you don't pay them, you don't get nothing.
Right.
You become ward.
What you'll get is take a plea deal. Take a plea deal, what you get, unless the case is so egregious that nobody can say, no, come on now. It'd have to be one of them. But Satan is the prosecutor, and he wants to prosecute you for breaking God's law. So it behooves us to understand his law. First, the felony list. 1 Corinthians 6 and 9. Ezekiel 18. You have to make sure you're not currently active. If you're currently active, you may have to fast and pray to get off if it's a stronghold. It's going to list everything on there to say, if you die believing you can do this, you can't come into the kingdom. So this is what we want y'all to understand. It's not the fact of that you may have done that felony list, but it's if you get off. Like Paul said, that old wretched man that I am. Every time I thought to do good, evil was there. He was on that list, but he got off. And he said, some of y'all on that list, but you got to get off before you die. It's talk out there now of an individual that's on that list and now justifying being on that list. And he got Pharisees that's helping him justify his wickedness on that abomination list. He's on that list and he's justifying it. Y'all understand what I'm saying? But check that felony list out, y'all, and get off of it. It's not hard. It's just you got to remove the lust of them. The fruits of the Spirit will get you off of that list. If you do the fruits of the Spirit, it'll get you off that list. But you must endure. Because they're going to try to get you back on that list. You off that dope, guess what? You give me $2, I give you more dope than you ever took in your life for just $2. And you're trying to get off that list. Right. That's how the devil comes. I give you enough dope to last till you dead. Well, that could be tomorrow if he give you the right hot shot.
Well, that could be that night.
Do it at night.
Yeah.
And you think, well, I can keep doing it till I'm dead. I won't go broke either. No, you ain't going to go broke either.
You just going to stop breathing.
Boy, look here. Yeah, go ahead. Shalom, my coolie.
Verse 11.
Yeah.
And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb.
Who they overcoming by?
By the blood of the Lamb.
Uh-huh.
And by the word of their testimony. And they loved not their lives unto the death.
Uh-huh.
Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth.
Woe to who?
The inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. For the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath.
What he got?
Great wrath.
Y'all, he's mad as hell, y'all. So look, the only way he can get you is to get you to break the law. Mm-hmm. And notice this, he has never, ever laid out the law in front of you and you break it where you can say, the devil made me do it. Mm-hmm. That's the biggest lie I ever told. The devil don't make you do nothing. He just asks you, what's dwelling inside of you? Come on, tell me the truth. You can talk to me. What do you really like? I want to be a Boy Scout leader and
Get a fight to get out your flesh.
I want to wear some. I want to wear them skinny shorts that's tighter than skinny jeans.
There you go.
We'll give you those shorts, young man. But you got to denounce the Bible, or at least say it's tampered with.
Right.
Will you do it for those skinny shorts?
Get out your flesh.
Let's get some more.
Having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. And when the dragon saw that he was cast unto the earth, he persecuted the woman which brought forth the man-child. And to the woman were given 2 wings of a great eagle, that she might fly into the wilderness, into her place, where she is nourished for a time and times and half a time from the face of the serpent.
So it's basically saying time and a half, 3.5 years, or 3,500 years, however it's spanning out from the beginning of time of when we're talking about this war that took place. So it's saying from that amount of time, if it's years, 3.5 years, or if it's thousands of years in the day of the Lord, but the count is going to be accurate, whichever one it is. It's going to fit into prophecy perfectly. So y'all, we see this constantly in the wilderness. So Ezekiel 20:33 say, we are now in the wilderness of the people. So y'all, and the safe place is the protection. The safe place is your heart and your mind. See, this is the safety zone, because once you have the Most High on your mind, then he provides that safety place for you. But he's not going to protect nobody that breaks his law. You understand what I'm saying? It ain't like the devil can come in church and ask for forgiveness. He's through. His crime cannot be reversed. And y'all have to understand, there's individuals out here who go the way of Satan. Crime cannot be reversed. We can't pray them back into the kingdom. Actually, it will cause us a problem if we keep casting our pearls before swine, trying to get somebody in that don't want it.
Right. After the second or third admonition.
After second or third time you tell them, and I'm not talking about just saying no to the Lord. I'm talking about the where you've had a discussion and the questions have been answered on their mind.
Right.
And then they say, well, that makes sense. And then 2 weeks later they say, well, what about this? And you clean that up. And then when they say, well, what about that? You're like, we ain't doing no more what abouts. Because at this point, you are not believing. You're just trying to find fault and see if we studied to show enough proof to answer your foolish questions. Don't have time for it. Let's keep reading. Yes, ma'am.
So the scripture said that he would keep us in perfect peace, whose mind stayed
On the Lord. You get a safe spot. You get a safety zone within yourself. Like right now, St. Louis, they say, is the most dangerous city in America, right? Anybody in here experiencing that? I'm talking about on a day-to-day basis. Can anybody say, man, I was almost caught up in 3 drive-bys, 2 what you say about my mamas, 4 attacks by some Karens and Dollar General? See, we're in the world, but not of it. That stuff is actually going on around us. But when you in the spirit, there's protection power. It leads you away from them areas. You may leave this earlier, and then you find out it was a 20-car power up back there. If you had waited them 20 minutes messing around, you'd have been caught up in that. See, y'all, that's the spiritual protection we talking about, y'all. Like when your foot will slip off the gas, off the brake, and hit that gas pedal, then you go down in a ravine and come back up, and you back straight on the highway, and you look behind you, and there ain't a 30-car pile up. Once you pull those underwear out your rear end, then you, Lord, thank you. Because you know you should have been dead. You ain't no stunt driver. Who, what you got to do about it? You got something? Who has something? You sis, go ahead.
just going to say that that's why patience is a virtue.
Absolutely.
Everybody in a hurry.
Everybody's in a hurry.
And don't realize while you rushing and breaking the speed limits, you could have been the one involved in the deadly accident.
Absolutely.
And you heard about it after you made it home safe.
Absolutely. You know, but we have to be, y'all, like I say, extra careful, because the devil is out there. He's a roaring lion, meaning all he's waiting for is you to slip up. If you protect yourself from slipping up here now in the physical, you have to do it in the spiritual, y'all. That's what these naysayers don't want you to do. They want you to stay cornered. See where you can dodge this law. When you see the police, you slide back up in a dark alleyway. No, we can't live like that, y'all. That's no way to live, y'all. That's not freedom. Let's get some more. Finish that off, bro.
Verse 15.
Yeah. Shalom, my Wayne.
Shalom, my. And the serpent cast out of his mouth water as a flood after the woman, that he might cause her to be carried away of the flood. And the earth helped the woman, and the earth opened her mouth and swallowed up the flood which the dragon cast out of his mouth.
Because remember, the dragon is trying to be just like the Most High, so he created a flood for us, so to speak, a flood of unrighteousness. That's what it is, to be swept away in unrighteous doctrine. But the Most High opened the earth and swallowed up his unrighteousness. Whereas as the Most High's flood took care of that unrighteousness as well, and then allowed some to make it through the flood. But the devil, in his flood, he's trying to kill everybody.
Right.
That's his whole mission. Kill all of the Most High's creation. Everything you think about, because y'all have to understand what this war is about in the heavens. Satan, you run this. But we're going to create an individual lower than y'all in status. They're terrestrial, you're celestial, you're more in power because you can go through both realms. They can't, but they're going to be ruler. You must serve them. Satan say, you say what? Do what about this man coming on the earth? You got to serve him. If you don't understand what your position is, you're a guardian. See, Michael is a guardian. Raphael is a guardian. Uriel is a guardian. Had they ever complained about helping us?
Nope.
Raphael went the whole way with Tobias when he was going to get married in the book of Tobit. The whole way he was right there. That's why we have to entertain strangers, because they could be angels unaware. So y'all, this is what we talk about. They know their mission. Satan didn't want to do that. He like, it's one thing you put me in charge of angels, but you're going to have me in charge of lesser? Yeah, this is the whole plan. Let's just put it out. If this lesser man sin, then we'll have his replacement called the Messiah. You know the Messiah, the one that sits right next to the Father. Yeah, I know him. I know him. I want to go up there though too though. Yeah, I know him. He say, he's going to, if they sin, he's going to have to correct them and get them back in order. So his whole mission now is, well, I'm going to get them to sin, and then I'll kill the woman who's carrying the seed. And then guess what? I get to rule by myself down here. I don't care about going back up there. I'll rule down here forever. Y'all understand what the whole thing is, but this started where? Amen. Let's read some more.
Verse 17.
Yeah.
And the dragon was wroth with the woman, and went to make war with the remnant of her seed.
With the what?
With the remnant of her seed, which keep the commandments of Yahweh, and have the testimony of Yeshua HaMashiach.
Let's read that again, because y'all, this is what the war is about. Do you understand? This what makes Satan come after you. You're not in this war if you don't keep his commandments. Satan ain't even worried about you if you say the Bible is tampered with, because you're saying the commandments, we ain't worried about keeping them no way. They tampered with. We'll make up our own as we go along.
Yeah, if you were of the world would love you.
Yo, boy. You know what we're talking about.
You already
yes,
know
sir.
the rest. Don't get me started.
Yeah, go and get started then, bro.
You want that 17?
Yes, sir.
Verse 17 again.
Yeah.
And the dragon was wroth with the woman, and went to make war with the remnant of her seed. Just the remnant.
Yes, sir.
Which keep the commandments of Yahweh.
What they doing?
They keep the commandments of Yahweh.
Yeah, yes, sir.
And have the testimony of Yahushua.
Y'all heard the two parts? That means a non-messianic can't enter in.
Right.
You have to keep the commandments and the faith of a Mashiach.
Second witness.
Go ahead,
Revelation 14, verse 12.
Yes, sir.
Here is the patience of the saints.
What's the patience of the saints?
Here are they that keep the commandments of Yahweh and the faith of Yahweh.
See, so this is what we have to be careful of, y'all. You have to know the commandments of God. When you ask yourself, what are the commandments of God? The first 5 books of the Bible. All of the prophets up until Matthew. Those are the statutes. Those are how the laws broke down if a crime happened and how the crime was corrected, or if one was totally obedient to the laws and what happened to them, and then the testimony. And that testimony is in the Messiah. Like Job's testimony, who lived a couple thousand years before the Messiah hit the earth. And Job 19, chapter 19, verse 25, he say, I know my Lord liveth. My Redeemer liveth, and he's going to stand on the earth in the latter days. Talking about the Mount of Olives. And I will see him with these eyes and not another. In this body when it's resurrected. That's the faith even before the Messiah was born. Because he was before Adam. And these men understood the war in heaven, who it was after. Job knew that that dragon was on him because of his faith in Mashiach, the one that's sitting to the Father. Satan get him to crack, then we all fall, because that's who faith has to go through. If I get the Messiah, y'all are through peace. But how did he come at the Messiah? Matthew 4 on the Sermon on the Mount. Nothing but with scripture. He quoted him scripture. This is what y'all need to understand. What we all need to understand. The devil is not doing tricks. The trick is, do you know the Bible? And when you get full of yourself and say, I know it backwards and forward. I carry it to church every Sunday.
Right.
I carry it to Bible study every Saturday. But do you know it?
Right.
Do you know your responsibilities, or are you just carrying an empty wallet? Now, why are you going in an empty wallet? You knew wasn't nothing in it when you put it in your back pocket, and you standing up in the line. Wait a minute. You looking in secret compartments, hoping, did I take that $5 out of there a long time ago? Look here, hopes and dreams. Let's get some more, bro.
We're going to the book of Isaiah.
Yes, sir.
Chapter 51 and verse 9.
And what we're going to talk about is events that happened in that war in heaven, y'all, because it caused planet Earth to go into what we would call almost destructive state. And also planets outside of that. A lot of stuff up there was threw down here from that war. A lot of times we think they were meteorites that, like the Grand Canyon. They say it was a meteorite.
Right.
But it was some events that's falling from heaven. And the North Pole, y'all, is where they go get moon rocks. They ain't never been to the moon. Those fall in the highest part of what we're saying on Earth, and that's the North Pole area. That's where they find a lot of the rocks at. That's why they don't want you to go there. That's why it's blocked off to humans, certain areas up there in the North Pole. But that's where they get their moon rocks from and put them on display. They fall there. It's the closest area from the heavens to the earth. So we have to understand the distance from the moon to earth is the same distance from the moon to the sun. They're equal in that space between the three. But there was war in heaven. A planet got destroyed. Y'all, it was a physical, spiritual, supernatural war. I want y'all to understand this is on the level of them hurling brimstone and fire and nuclear warhead up in the heavens, y'all. Y'all have to understand what they're trying to train us down here on earth to build is the weapons that they used up there. Nuclear capability. And we're going to tie that in about those nuclear capabilities, how they fit into these world wars the same way. Go ahead, bro. Who got some questions? We good? Go ahead, Emo.
He said, who was it that said, his word have I hidden in my heart that will not sin against him, against it.
Right, right. So, look, the Most High will explain things to us as we continue in His Word. But you're not going to read one chapter and close the book up and say, you know, I've read Genesis and I see what you guys say. If you say you read Genesis and closed the book, you ain't did nothing. It's things in this Bible that won't be revealed to you. They reveal to you how your endurance is. You in it for 10 years, I'll give you 10 years worth of understanding. You in another 10 years, you get that understanding and explain. Because you cannot keep it unless you give it away. And you can't give away half truths. You have to give away the truth because it's the only thing going to set you what? Free. Why you keep dealing in these doctrines of demons. They tell you it's a demon doctrine. They tell you we don't believe in the Bible. We don't believe in Paul's writings. We believe certain things are tampered with. They believe in their own high priests that's being involved in the ball egg contest. Y'all, that may be why we got an egg shortage. You know, Suge Knight say they used to do the ball egg test with them boys that like to be girls.
Oh, no.
And shove a ball egg up their rear. If it cracked, they ain't ready.
Oh, no.
And this drama coming out about this individual called himself tough in New York, he must have a couple cartons up in his rear end for what he wanted to do and hide in secret on that felony list. That's who got the eggs skyrocketing. Move him out the way, egg prices will drop down. Let's get some more, y'all.
I don't think I want to
Go ahead, bro.
All right, son, we're going to be reading in the book of Isaiah, chapter 51, And we're going to read verses 9 and 10.
And y'all, what we're doing now is going over events that happened in that war. The prophets are talking about it. Because people going to ask us, how we know what happened before Adam? The Bible answers all questions.
Yes.
That's right.
What did it say there, bro? Isaiah 51.
Verse 9.
Go ahead.
Awake, awake,
Uh-huh.
put on strength,
Read.
O arm of the Most High.
Yes.
Awake, as in the ancient days.
Uh-huh. In the what days?
In the ancient days.
So y'all, that's before we're talking about Genesis 1 and 1. The ancient days. Who do the ancient days belong to? The ancient of what?
Other days.
Y'all understand? That's clear, ain't it?
Yeah.
Let's get some more.
In the generations of old.
Uh-huh.
Art thou not in that hath cut Rahab and wounded the dragon?
Have cut Rahab. See, this ain't talking about Rahab that was in Jericho. That was a woman that he had despised. But there was a planet called Rahab, if we say it like that, that was destroyed, that the dragon had control of. His seat of power, Rahab. What else to say, bro?
Verse 10.
Yeah.
Art thou not it which hath dried the sea, the waters of the great deep,
Uh-huh.
that hath made the depths of the sea a way for the ransom to pass over?
Uh-huh.
Therefore, the redeemed of the Most High shall return.
See how I keep talking about the redeemed after the war, y'all? Go ahead.
And come with singing unto Zion.
What they gonna come with?
With singing
You ain't
unto
singing
Zion.
if you in trouble, as you.
No.
Go ahead.
And everlasting joy
Uh-huh.
shall be upon their head. They shall obtain gladness and joy, and sorrow and mourning shall flee away.
See, verse 9 tells us he bust Lucifer head in the heavens. Why are we worried about the devil down here?
Right.
He gonna bust his head to the white meat again. He had already told us, don't fear remnant. The remnant is 2/3 of us that's not going to get it because we want to believe a lie. You want to make a kingdom out of lies. You don't trust the Bible is real, and now you got your priest set up, some martial council, and then Egyptologists could come in and debate it, the Bible, and you don't check them and put them in order.
Right.
You got Pharisees, that sitting in Moses' seat and calling men with prescriptions the Holy Spirit, and a man with a drinking problem say he was the resurrected King David. Y'all, that's the leaven of the Pharisees, y'all. And notice why they kick up all the dust, because the Passover is coming. You should get the what out at the Passover? The leavening of who? The Pharisees, y'all. Y'all got to get it out of y'all system. People telling y'all the Bible is tampered with, and you still hang out with them spiritually.
Right.
It's one thing you dealing with them in the flesh, but when it comes down to this spiritualness about your soul, you can't play around with this. You can't play around with this for a cup of wine.
Right.
For some glaucoma medicine, heavy doses of it. It ain't gonna help you. But if you join up for that with the devil, it's the same thing. Because the devil have you humiliate yourself first. Hold up a cup with the rest of the devils around here, and you like this. All praises to who?
Right.
Whoever y'all think.
Yeah, whoever y'all
Whoever y'all
think.
person
See, what happens with that brunity, it becomes Mars Hill. Y'all write this down, Acts 17 chapter. Y'all read about Mars Hill. They even had one up there called a superstitious God. Stevie Wonder had a song.
When you believe in
Yeah.
things,
When you believe in things you don't understand what you do.
you suffer.
So how do you gonna believe in the Bible and you believe it's tampered with? You gonna suffer. Because it's telling you truth and you believe it's a lie in there.
What was that scripture again?
Acts 17.
Acts 17, Mars Hill. That's what it's talking about. You'll see it when Paul got there. It was so much superstition going around and crazy talk. Go ahead, let's finish this up. What we got next? We're going to the next script.
Psalm.
Go ahead. And y'all, what we're seeing now is, you going, lazy? Okay, you all right, ain't you, boy? You walking kind of quick. Okay. Go ahead, bro.
89.
Psalm 89.
10 and 11.
Yeah. Yo, that's Acts on that what Paul was speaking to us. Start Acts 17, about 21 through 28. And that's to talk about that Mars Hill. That's these Brunity camps, y'all. They don't care what you believe, long as you know you Israel, because the deal ain't care about what you believe. It's what have your false teacher taught you about getting a hold of 7 loose fornications.
Wow.
That's all you get rewarded with is loose fornication, because that's all they talk about. Every one of these groups that say the Bible could be tampered with have a doctrine they trust called polygamy. The doctrine that they tell you everything else must be said in Hebrew except the name of their doctrine, which can't be said in Hebrew. Polygamy cannot be said in Hebrew. It's impossible because it's not a word that lends to something. It's a cause and a condition if a man take another wife, not a ritual, not a rite. It's a condition that causes a man to have to be put in that situation. If a man, if it's not in order, is it?
No.
If your aunt had testes, what would she be?
Your uncle.
Okay. Let's get it, y'all.
Uncle Bob?
Yes, sir. Uncle Bob, bro.
Yeah, Bob.
Go ahead, bro.
Psalms
That was pretty good, Uncle Bob, bro. Go ahead.
Psalms 89, verse 10.
Yes, sir.
Thou hast broken Rahab in pieces.
What have you broken?
Rahab in pieces.
So y'all know we ain't talking about the harlot because she was never broken into pieces.
No.
She was actually made whole for helping Joshua and Caleb.
That's right.
Go ahead, what else we got?
Thou hast broken Rahab in pieces as one that is slain.
As one that is what?
That is slain. Thou hast scattered thine enemies with thy strong arm. The heavens are thine. The earth also is thine. As for the world and the fullness thereof, thou hast formed them. Founded them.
Yeah, go ahead.
The north and the south, thou hast created them. Tabor and Hermon shall rejoice in thy name.
So we can hold there, but once again, we see the destruction of Rahab. And it's talking about events before earth happened. So it's telling us there was war. There was on a higher level of what we're talking about, greater war, the heavens being shook. Way before Adam and Eve. Now we finna get into that so you understand, and now you can put together Genesis 1 and 1. Why it starts off, if the Lord is forming something, he forms it perfect.
Yeah, he does.
Was Adam and Eve formed perfect? Was the angel formed perfect? Then why would the earth be in void condition? So that's like he went and got the earth from the junkyard.
Right.
Gonna put on a few used parts from AutoZone. So if he put a start on earth, he know he got to go back 3 times if you get it from AutoZone.
And it'll look good as new.
Boy. Let's get the next one, y'all. And we're just talking about them. Ezekiel 28 and 12. I tell you, we'll let, we're doing that order. Ezekiel 28 and 12. Because we're going to talk about that dragon when he was cast out. This is the prophet Ezekiel talking about that war too. Y'all have to understand what's talked about on earth and what talked about what happened in heaven. See, men today, these rogue men that's chasing crystals and all these type of things, want you to believe that they can go up to them heavens and talk to some ancestors up there. But we ain't never read nothing about no ancestors up there in here that you can go holler at. What them ancestors, how they get up there? And why all of them go up top? Ain't none of them ancestors down below?
Right.
And Shoel? And what them ancestors telling you? Ancestors. And we can't get past the iron wall of slavery.
So they not going up yonder?
Boy, look here.
If anybody asks you.
Ain't no way you know what happened before 1865. You got to have an old Bible with some notes wrote down of when they took notes of who your people are and who may have sired you. Go ahead.
Ezekiel chapter 28, verse 12.
What it say?
Son of man.
Son of who?
Son of man.
And when y'all see son of man, it's always represent the higher up, and then heaven, and then earth. So the son of man in the higher is the Messiah. The son of man on earth is after Adam. So son of man may be everybody born of Adam's seed. Everybody. It don't matter what nation on earth. If you came from Adam, you're son of man. Right? And it's after the fall. Because see, Adam was in God's state before he fell. He was called the Son of God. He's truly still technically the Son of God who took a bad whooping. He lost his favor with God. The second, we should say the second Son of God that we know on earth is the Messiah. Who's both of them's daddy? Who's Adam's daddy? Who's the Messiah's daddy? The Messiah's mother is from earth. So is Adam's mother is from earth. Those are truly the two sons of God. One is before and he came after the earthly son of God. But everything else, son of man. We're the offspring of Adam after the fall. That's the sons of men. So he's talking to Ezekiel, which is a prophet, which is the offspring of Adam. Let's read some more.
Verse 12 again.
Yeah.
Son of man.
Yeah.
Take up a lamentation upon the king of Tyre. And say unto him, Thus says the Lord God, Thou sealest up the sun, full of wisdom.
Full of what?
Full of wisdom.
So it's saying take up a lamentation against this individual. Lamentations mean a downfall. Like we see the book of Lamentations. It shows how we fail, how has the gold become dim. It's saying take up a lamentation against this individual. We're going to see how he fell from grace. Like we did in Lamentations 4 and Lamentations 5. Go ahead. What else to say, bro?
Full of wisdom and perfect in beauty.
Perfect in what?
Beauty.
Y'all, that means no blots, no spots, no stain. Perfect in beauty. No sin found in him. Let's get some more.
Thou hast been in the garden of Yahweh.
Where has he been?
Thou hast been in Eden, the garden of Yahweh. Every precious stone was thy covering, the sardis, topaz, and the diamond, the beryl, the onyx, and the jasper, the sapphire, and the emerald, and the carbuncle, and gold, the workmanship of thy tablets, and of thy pipes, was prepared in thee in the day that thou was created.
In the day that thou was created. So the dragon was created. Is that, who horn is that blowing, bro? Oh, in the front, okay, all right. I see you got them ears wiggling like Doppler radar over there. You can tell if it's on that side or on Union. Okay, yes sir, go ahead. So, but y'all see, now notice it's saying this guy's a high priest. It just named everything in his breastplate. All of the jewels like in the breastplate of Aaron. But y'all have to understand this is Melchizedek breastplate. This is the same type of rubies we read about the Messiah and the New Jerusalem. Them stones, he had that, y'all. He was a high priest after the order of Melchizedek. Y'all have to understand. He was still under Christ at that point. Christ is the chief high priest of the order of Melchizedek. Satan, Gabriel, Michael, all of them were Melchizedek priests, high-ranking angels under that order. Cherubims covered the mercy seat and the law of God. Covering it meaning that they protect the law of God. That was Lucifer's job at one point. Was the vocalist, those that sing holy, holy, holy around the throne all day. He used to lead that. That's why he's always tied to music. He knows about the music. I just need to get you into the supernatural realm of this music and it make you break God's law. I want you to listen to songs when you ain't married and the lyrics start off, turn them off!
Uh-oh.
And come closer. See, so we get all of them songs.
You scared me.
Yes. I ain't gonna go no more, but let's keep reading. Where we at?
Verse 14. Thou art the anointed cherub.
What was he?
The anointed cherub.
He was anointed cherubim. Anointed for that position. Go ahead.
That covered. And I have set thee so thou was upon the holy mountains of your house.
Where was he at?
Upon the holy mountains of your house. Thou hast walked up and down in the midst of the stones of fire.
See, up and down in the midst. Fire didn't bother Satan. It didn't bother him, but guess what? It's going to bother him in the end.
You know it.
Because he won't be able to walk around like Abraham in the fire. Daniel, Shadrach, Meshach, and a bad Negro. He won't be able to walk in the fire like them no more. He won't be able to, like the angel in Judges 13, when he went to Samson's mom and dad and told him that Samson was going to be born, and he worked wondrously in that flame and ascended back up into heaven. Those are over for Satan. Now fire is his enemy. Let's get some more.
Verse 15.
Yeah.
Thou wast perfect in thy ways from the day that thou was created. Till iniquity was found in thee.
Till iniquity was found in thee. And iniquity is practice sin. So practice sin, when practice sin is found in you, that's what make you get separated from the Most High. That felony list that's being practiced. Y'all understand? R. Kelly was practicing that felony list because he videotaped it. And he kept a bag of videotapes with him everywhere he went. So he's practicing iniquity to see how I can get better at it. That's the only reason you keep iniquity around, is to remind you of it and to see if you can do one better. Let's get some more.
Verse 16.
Yeah.
By the multitude of thy merchandise, they have filled the midst of thee with violence.
With what?
With violence. And thou hast sinned.
And thou hast did what?
Sin.
What is sin?
Transgression of the law.
Let's read some more. So the law is in heaven.
That's right.
Let's get some more.
Therefore I will cast thee as profane out of the mountain of your house.
Look, get out of here. Profane. Y'all know what profane means? Y'all, the word short for that, a different word for that is profanity. What is that? Profanity. When you say profane, you just cussing wild. It's wickedness that's coming out of you. It's profane. It's profanity. You're profane, and what comes out of you is profanity. These Negroes that say the Bible is tampered with, that's profanity. They're profane. Those that say the Most High is a hypocrite and break his own laws and sacrifice babies, that's what they are. They're profane. They speak profanity. Then they start writing their own doctrines of profanity. How to be healed, different ways with witchcraft. Everything that God said don't do, they tell you that we can do under our writings. Let's get some more.
Continuation of 16. And I will destroy thee, O covering cherub.
Oh, what?
O covering cherub. From the midst of the stones of fire.
From the midst of the stones of fire. From the altar of the Lord, you're going to be destroyed. From the midst of it. Go ahead.
Thine heart was lifted up because of thy beauty.
Y'all see how they lifted them up, y'all? And y'all see this beauty contest we got going on today? Everybody trying to look beautiful. When you get older, so what you're not accepting is growing gracefully in this word and looking toward, let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. I have walked this walk my whole life, or at least when I got straightened out, I walked it to the end. This tells you differently that what he would want it to do. Let's get some more.
Thou hast corrupted thy wisdom by reason of thy brightness.
See, corrupted his wisdom by reason of brightness. The Most High put the spirit of wisdom on Lucifer. He was wise up there. Not only that, but he was very handsome. He was what we call the first pretty boy that hit this earth. And if you wonder why good girls chase bad boys, it started in the garden. This ain't just started in the 60s and the 70s, good girls chasing bad boys. Good girl chased a bad boy in the Garden of Eden. She saw a tree, one to be desired. It looked fabulous to her because the Most High didn't change his image. He left him just like he was. He just changed the character of his behavior. See, so that we won't look at the outer cup, but we hear what comes out of a man, then we can make judgment. So that way we don't get took in by the deception. It looked like God. Or men that may get with wayward women, and then the next morning they realize, well, I don't know why I'm itching. Hell, she didn't have no bumps on her face. Right. Well, look. Let's get some more. Get some more of that, bro.
Continuation of 17. I will cast thee to the ground.
I
will lay thee before kings, that they may behold thee. Thou hast defiled thy sanctuaries by the multitude of thine iniquities, by the iniquity of thy traffic. Therefore will I bring forth a fire from the midst of thee. It shall devour thee, and I will bring thee to ashes upon the earth in the sight of all them that behold thee.
Go ahead.
All they that know thee among the people shall be astonished at thee.
And you mean to tell me this the devil? Right. Go ahead.
Thou shalt be a terror, and never shalt thou be any more.
Because when you realize, you look at the devil, and he's shorter and smaller than Gary Coleman. And I'm only saying in the status of what he's been reduced to. When you look at him like that, you're going to say, this the devil that caused all these problems? Yes, that's the devil because he don't have to get physical. All he do, he gets physical with you. What God tell you? Well, he told me to love him. Oh, no. So you can't love nobody else? What kind of God is that? That's all he needs is that little bit of doubt. You done told him the truth, and you won't stop there, and you won't say, get thee hence. You let him ask you another question to draw you into doubt. You giving them play, and every time y'all get into these debates with these charlatans, you giving them play. You don't let them start off with the rules. You don't start them off with the rules. It's like you know they reneging, and you still don't say nothing. Right. You just whisper to the other ones at the table because you have respect to person. Man, didn't he have clubs last hand?
I thought he did.
Yeah, he reneged.
Don't say
nothing, okay, because he is. You know, we don't want to shame.
That's a hell, man.
Yeah, that's a hell. We don't
Can't make him look bad.
Can't make him look bad, man.
You know, I'm
Boy, look here, boy, look here. Go ahead, what else you say, bro?
Verse 20.
Yeah.
Again the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Zidon, and prophesy against
So that's what the Most High would always do because he give warning. Set your face against this nation and go tell them I'm about to come and get them. That's a fair God, y'all. Warn you before you get a whooping. Warn you several times. And not only that, but give you time to get it straight. You gonna say? Be careful out there. He warns you time and time again. Like your parents warned you.
Yes.
Boy, I ain't gonna tell you no more. I don't chew my cabbage twice.
You know you
That means I ain't gonna tell you but one time about this.
You gonna tell me again one more time.
Well, but look here. Yes, sir. And look, the third time you tell them, it ain't no words out of your mouth. You just start with the strap. And look, once you hit that first lick, what's the first thing you holler? Okay. Why do you holler okay? Look, you don't know what she whooping about. Stop. Look, she ain't said why she getting you. She just said, come in there, get in that room, and pull out that strap, and that first lick you holler okay. See, it comes back to mind why I'm getting this whooping. And see, that's the same with our Father. When he whoop you, he don't whoop you errantly the way you have to guess why I'm getting the whooping. When he whoops you, it's right here. And you'll say, okay. Okay, I repent. He say, are you saying it because you got caught? Or is your heart like David's? Because I got caught?
Yep.
Well, keep taking these.
Boy, take some more licks. Go ahead. Where we at? No, we're going to go ahead and get the next one. So, y'all, we see what caused Lucifer to fall. Pride that was in him because, remember, there was no sin in righteousness. The only thing we were equipped with those seven spirits, pride was one of them. But it was never to exalt yourself. It would be to be more used in the term of being proud of a good event. I'm proud of you for graduating. But pride, Don't let nobody tell you nothing like this. You the dog. I mean, you run things around here. Ain't nobody else doing work like you here in the STL. You running things. You ain't running nothing.
Running his mouth.
Running his mouth, and you let a charlatan soup you up. Raggedy as a can of crop come here and tell you the king ain't been seen since Solomon in his prime. Pour chicken grease on your head and you think you being anointed.
Right.
Use chicken grease.
Oh, oily one.
Use it to cook fish too. And they rubbing it on your head and telling you you're anointed one.
You the fish and chicken god.
Yeah. Yes, sir. But y'all, that's where we at, and that's what pride do. And you come out, yeah, smelling like fish and chicken. Yeah, I'm the new holy one around here.
You need to go get me some water.
Right.
Go ahead, Emo. Let's get this next script, y'all. Let's get it. Yeah, we're going to Genesis, y'all. So now we can understand how we get to verse 1 and the war we just read. The heavens were in a big scrap. Y'all, they try to do it when they try to show us things like Superman and Thor and them having heavenly wars up there, so to speak. That ain't their imagination. They're copying off the Bible, just rewording it to the way they want it. But notice all they superheroes always have Achilles' heel.
Right.
They're not perfect. They're already wounded. This is how crafty the devil is. He can chase you and have you believe in those supernatural things like we talking about in Acts 27, Mars here believing in anything, and tell you up front it's got a problem. Then Superman have a problem? Then all of them superheroes got a problem. The Wolverine got a problem. He'll howl at midnight at the moon, but he's got something that'll stop him in his tracks. All of that fault has, and they show it to you right up front because it's without fault. The devil gonna say, I showed y'all, but y'all was entertaining and y'all wanted another Superman with an error in him. Like these so-called camps that trust in men that make false prophecy and still believe in them. And won't just say, yeah, he made a false prophecy in 1999 when the clock counted down. But yet they'll cover his sin and transgression. Let's get one and one, y'all. Go ahead. Genesis.
The book of Genesis, chapter 1 and verse 1.
Uh-huh.
In the beginning, Yah created the heaven and the earth.
So that was technically in the beginning. That's covering everything. And then we'll jump right back to the war because Moses is writing Genesis. So Moses wasn't alive then. He's writing in hundreds and thousands of years. So he told us in the beginning everything was created. The universe, everything was created in the beginning. Now we finna skip to issues because the beginning was perfect. Let's get it.
Verse 2.
Yeah.
And the earth was without form and void.
And what?
And void. And darkness was upon the face of the deep. And the Spirit of Yahweh moved upon the face of the water. And Yah said, let there be light.
See, so the earth, y'all look at what it's saying. The earth was sitting in water and out of the water. So technically you're seeing a flood because the earth is half of it is with water covering it up. It's sitting in water, it's void, and it's dark. So you have to ask yourself, if he created all things beautiful, like we just read about the devil, he was created perfect. So now you're telling me the place where Adam has to dwell is without form and darkness and void? No, it was something caused it to be put in that situation. And we're going to get to it, y'all. So y'all understand everything that took place up there that caused creation in here. That first world war we're talking about, World War I, starting with the heavens and earth, because it affected the earth. See, the earth is in the water and out of the water. So it got affected by World War I that started in the heavens. Y'all understand what I'm saying? Let's read some more.
Verse 3 again.
Yeah.
And Yah said, let there be light. And there was light. And Yah saw the light, that it was good. And Yah divided the light from the dark.
So this world was shut down. The sun and the moon wiped out. Everything that existed in the heavens, it was plunged into darkness because of Lucifer's transgression. So if you understand Genesis 1 and 1, Now we're going to go to a prophet that spoke of that time as well, because the prophets will have to speak about total destruction constantly to our people so that they understand God don't play around. He'll destroy work up in the heavens. He'll destroy work on the earth, especially his own. He'll start with them first. Jeremiah 4. What you got? Who got something like that? What say that again? Y'all gone? Shalom, y'all. Be careful out there. What you say? OG, say that again a little bit louder.
He said, Jesus didn't go to school because they have recess and he don't play.
No, yeah. Okay, yeah. Say he didn't have time to be playing off in school waiting on a break. Yeah, and when you look at it, the Pharisees did ask that question. How do he know his letters having never learned? That's what they asked. Same thing he's saying. How? How is it possible? And notice he didn't say, how do he know his words? He asked, how does he know his letters that form words? Which come first, the letter or the words? The letters come first. How they keep telling you, okay, see if we go to concordance on this word, let's look at the letter of that word. We got the alphabet in the Bible, Psalm 119, the longest chapter in the Bible. Each letter has 8 verses, and it tells you each letter must be according to the law so that you don't form a bad word. That's where bad words come from, when you form different letters, like trying to form Greek into Hebrew. Trying to say all of this can be found in the Bible in the Hebrew, but this Greek letter we got here called polygamy, we want to add it to it.
Oh, add it to it.
Yeah. So we can have our way in that felony list and just wallow in it. That felony list. And if you in that felony list, I'm not going to tell you currently, I'm going to wait till you get in trouble and tell on me, then I'm going to tell on your felony list.
Fornicator.
And then we're going to go back and forth with each other, telling each other's secret on that fornication list. And the next thing you know, we'll be cooking and barbecuing again when the summer comes.
Right. Iron sharpening iron, man.
No.
All
that foolishness.
That's why you take phone calls?
Yeah. Let's get some more, y'all. Let's speed this up.
We're going into the book of Jeremiah.
Yeah.
Chapter 4, and we'll start reading at verse 23.
Yeah. And see, this is Jeremiah telling Jerusalem, or the inhabitants of Jerusalem, that the Most High destroyed the world before. He'll destroy us from off of planet Earth. He'll destroy Jerusalem. He don't have no favorites.
He's not a respecter of
He's not a respect. He created you. You ain't going to overpower him.
Right.
And tell him, get out of my room. Satan told the Most High, get out of my room. He said, no, you get out of my house.
Right.
Boy, look here.
I shall cast thee down.
Go ahead. Where we at?
Jeremiah chapter 4 and verse 23.
What it say?
I beheld the earth, and lo, it was without form and void, and the heavens, and they had no light.
Are we reading the same thing in Genesis 1 and 2?
Sounds familiar.
Same thing, same language. Let's read some more.
Verse 24.
Yeah.
I beheld the mountains, and lo, they trembled, and all the hills moved lightly. I beheld, and lo, there was no man.
There was what?
There was no man. And all the birds of the heavens were fled. I beheld, and lo, the fruitful place was a wilderness. And all the cities thereof were broken down at the presence of the Most High. And by his fierce anger.
Okay.
For thus hath the Most High said, the whole land shall be desolate, yet will I not make a full end.
Y'all read the rest of that and y'all gonna understand this perfect, but this is what he's saying. The earth was void. There was no man, there was nothing left. There was no birds left in that destruction. There was nothing left. How many men get off the ark?
8.
Not 8 men. I hope it wasn't 8 men. Okay, yeah, okay. Yeah. 4 men, 4 women got off the ark. So this said nothing was left in that destruction. It was totally wiped out completely. Same language, bohu and tohu. So what is this man and what are these birds that got totally destroyed in that between Genesis 1 and 1 and 1 and 2? Because guess what? Either you're finding everything that they dig up on earth that was between Adam and the flood. It's the only other time that we had major destruction on the earth. So either you got to put mammoth elephants, you got to put saber-toothed tigers, you got to put dinosaurs, and you got to put Leviathan between Adam and that first flood. All those things was before Genesis 1 and 1. And there was an existence going on because it's telling you it was a super kingdom up there. And that kingdom was interrupted. That was a ruling kingdom. Y'all have to understand in the heaven, because what's in heaven was mirrored down here. Everything the priest made was according to the fashion in where? In heaven. Where is New Jerusalem descending from? With no hands of men on it. We're looking at a mirror image of what's happening there. The only thing get to dwell with that we are from there is our consciousness, our soul. And that's what the devil is trying to get at, your soul. He don't care about this is already dying. It's going to die anyway. I need your soul so you can't go back to that spot.
Right.
Or that spot don't come to you. That's what I need to do. Dirty you up. Put all the spots and wrinkles I can on you. So instead of us getting the spots and wrinkles out of our mind, we go to the store and buy stuff that get the wrinkles out of this dead flesh. You shoot Botox in your forehead so no wrinkles, and you just be smiling like this. And ain't no wrinkles in your head.
Looking artificial.
Look, yeah, or you get plastic surgery and they pull this part of your head all the way back here. Now your eyebrows up here. And don't nobody know if you said, I said, ain't you saying, Because your eyebrows way up here. Oh, but look at Mister. And look, and they'll pull you so far for women trying to get these back straight. They'll be up here. You'll be needing a bra under here. They pull all that skin all the way up. Pull your face all the way back and sew it up.
Why you got two knots in the back?
But guess what your birth certificate say? Your birth certificate say the same age. You can fool that outer cup all you want. All of us. I look in the mirror like this sometimes. I used to look like that in the 11th grade. Then I let it go. I'm like, oh shit, the 11th grade has been going a long time.
Long time.
It's like now that B.B. King song. I look in the mirror every day and it tells me the truth. I go, I look in the mirror to tell me the truth so I understand gone is my youth. The mirror will tell you the truth. The mirror where you do all of this and smile with them teeth and you try whiteners and different things. You're trying to restore it like it was when you were born. That's the devil. Yeah, look here. Yeah, do that, mister, again. You look 17. You know, but so y'all, this is what the devil is trying to do. What's dying, he trying to make you believe it can live again. Perfectly like it was in your immortal status. But it can't. It cannot. It will not. You're going to have to keep working on it. BBLs.
Think about that boy, you sitting up talking about, girl, I never knew you had a dimple in your chin. She
Yes,
said,
sir.
No, that ain't no dimple, that's my nasal.
Oh, boy, look at Boy, that plastic surgery that went up
I
high.
done pulled it all night, boy.
Boy, you say you could put a cotton ball with some castor oil and a quarter right here. Yeah. Let's get your boy, y'all. But y'all, that's how fun it is. That's what the devil do, want you to believe that what's dying can come back to life. Y'all, it ain't been nobody else that walked this earth that can come back and tell you, yes, I died in my iniquities and I'm back.
Right.
You mean I ain't gonna be able to dunk again?
No, Zeb, no dunking for you no more. Yeah, well, if you get in the kingdom, yeah, because you'll have wings, bro. Wings, you'll be able to do what the tithes go if we make it.
Right.
But no more fleshly though.
Oh, no, ain't no more fleshly done, Zeb. Ain't no more fleshly running, you know. Your running is reduced to, boy, come back here, boy. Because you can't chase him no more.
I can't even go up the steps.
Boy, look here. My grandchildren are slide down the basement steps because they got carpet on them. I'm like, look, we just need
make my knees
look,
hurt when I see
no, what I'm thinking about, man, is squirt that whole shirt, all their shirts with some Resolve. Might as well clean that carpet while you're going down. Because they'll slide right up backwards.
We'll get some kind of work out of it.
Yes, sir. Put them to work. Let's get it, y'all. Where we at?
We're going to Enoch 60.
Yeah. We're going to the book of Enoch, and it's the 60th chapter, and it's going to lend to us also. And what we're talking about, y'all, is that world before Adam and them was brought on the scene. It was about them being brought on the scene. You know, like what Trump doing, threatening certain things, you know, and we be so scared, man, that's targeted toward us, man, that's targeted toward us. That's fear of our people don't know who they are. We already been warned for over 2,000 years that this day was coming. What are we worried about he gonna do for us? We told you what this election was gonna do. We told you. It was gonna be a selection, not an election. You have Donald Trump who gonna make America great again. Jobs coming back, this may be that. He may give you a tax refund, take a tax break. But he's gonna put America back in charge where white folks was respected. And other people looked at the ground when they said something. And police get to go upside your head and bust your tail light out and say, get that tail light fixed. That's coming back with him. So when you vote for him, you know that's coming back. Not only this, but there is a flip side of that. He's gonna get rid of majority of this homosexuality. Ain't gonna be no girls playing boy sports and no boy playing girl sports. I'm gonna stop all that stuff. You're gonna marry a man. There's only two genders, man and woman. So yay, Trump. But you got to deal with that other side. Or you can get the democratic, what people want you to do, and they're flooding in Sodom and Gomorrah. Everything gets a rainbow flag. I mean, Kamala Harris was almost in an Oprah, says, you get a rainbow flag. You get a rainbow flag. Everybody gets a rainbow flag. Marry your horse, your dog, if you want it. That's what we would have got if that side had a woman. Y'all understand where we at? So our hope is not in the ballot box. Our hope is in the Most High.
Right.
What you got to do? We got it. Let's get it. We're in the book of Enoch, chapter 60.
First Enoch, chapter 60, verse 1. Page 263.
What I'm saying?
263.
Look at the two stinkers there. When you see me struggling over here, don't you, boy? Go ahead. I'm with you.
Feel the wind.
You feel the wind? Yes, sir. Go ahead, bro.
First Enoch chapter 60 verse 1.
Yeah.
In the 500th year.
The 500th.
The 500th year. In the 7th month, on the 14th day of the month in the life of Enoch.
Y'all see how the Bible keep accurate count of certain things? This is what you're supposed to do when the Most High talk to somebody that say they're a prophet. They're supposed to write it down just like this. All of our prophets wrote it down just like this. The time, hour, and the day the Most High spoke to me. Go ahead.
In that allegory, I saw how the mighty quaking made the heaven of heavens to quake. And the host of the Most High, and the messengers, 1,000,000 and even 100,000,000, were disquieted with a great disquiet. And the head of days.
And the who?
And the head of days.
That we call the Ancient of Days. Go ahead.
Sat on the throne of his glory. And the messengers and the righteous stood around him. And a great trembling seized me. And fear took hold of me. And my loins gave way. And my reins were dissolved. And I fell on my face.
So when Enoch, who was translated, the only individual that ever left this earth was translated. Now, Elijah and Moses and a few of the other brothers were taken up. But Enoch was translated. That means he went, 1 Corinthians 15:51. In a twinkling of an eye, he changed back to immortality. Like Adam was before he sinned. That's what translation is. That's what will happen to us if we're alive at the second coming. Any of us alive at the second coming, that change will take place just like that. You'll come back, you'll be like Enoch, and you're able to go up. So Enoch got just a eye shot of what the throne looked like from the Ancient of Days, and it scared him to death. But he was translated. You read about it in Sirach 44. You read about it in Hebrews, I believe it's 11th chapter when they talk about those of faith. They talk about all the men, but it say, but Enoch was translated. So we understand that the resurrection is real. If we alive at the second coming, we will be translated. We won't have to do this no more. We won't have to shoot this full of Botox. You know, you won't have to do none of that. You'll be naturally fit. You already be at the spiritual gym. You ain't got to worry about none of that. Let's get some more.
You said chapter 60?
Yeah, Enoch, chapter 60, book 1. Where you at? You got it? It should have started off in the 500th year.
Right.
Just Google in Enoch, chapter 60,
First Enoch.
PDF.
Might have to put second text in there.
Yeah, or just 1 Enoch, chapter 60. Yeah, holler out y'all if y'all ain't there, because if we don't read together, somebody going to miss something.
And what was the Hebrew?
Hebrews 11, talk about Enoch was translated. All of the book of Enoch talk about his translation. Let me get where else here? Sirach 44, Sirach 49 and 14, Sirach 44, 16 through 23.
Wisdom of Solomon 3.
Wisdom of Solomon 3, absolutely. Talk about Enoch being translated. Slow on, Bill, now. You there, Mike?
No, I got 60, Enoch chapter 60.
Yeah, what you got? What's your verse say?
It says, in those days I beheld a rope.
See, that's the same one I had at first. You coming out of a different book. You might want to try a different
Well-
version of it. That's the one I had at first.
Well, it's probably in there. It's just that one. Just do Enoch chapter 60. Just do Enoch chapter 60. It's gonna bring up PDF, and just make sure it ain't the one you pulled up previously. Y'all, what he's pulling up is just because they're in a little bit different space. They're just farther chapters down. What he's saying is in there is just that how when you get these different versions out here, one version may only cover a certain amount of things. I got one like that too that I use for other things, but did I bring that? No, I left it home. I got another book, a lost book, and what it does is only picks up certain parts of Enoch within that book. And that PDF he may be doing, but you got it right there, Mike. You got it up on the screen though, right, Tubai?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so everybody on point on screen. Y'all, because this is Bible study. Everybody got to be on the same page.
I had to switch too.
Oh, yeah, right. Let's get it, y'all.
Verse 4.
Yeah.
And Michael sent another messenger from among the holy ones, and he raised me up. And when he raised
Hold
me
on,
up...
what you saying, Mike?
Now we got,
You on the right verse? Okay, go ahead.
You got one? Yeah. Oh, okay.
And when he had raised me up,
Yeah.
my spirit returned.
Uh-huh.
For I had not been able to endure the look of this host,
Uh-huh.
and the commotion, and the quaking of heaven.
Uh-huh.
And Michael said to me, why are you disquieted with such a vision?
Uh-huh.
The day of his mercy lasted unto this day,
Uh-huh.
and he has been merciful and long-suffering toward us who dwell on the earth.
That's right.
And when the day and the power and the punishment and the judgment come, which the Lord of spirits has prepared for those who do not bow to the righteous law,
To those that do not what?
bow to the righteous law,
Uh-huh.
and for those who deny the righteous judgment,
Uh-huh.
and for those who take his name in vain,
Uh-huh.
that day is prepared.
That day of judgment is prepared. When you say this Bible is tampered with, when you say God is it's a contradiction, that means a truth and a lie. When you say that, judgment day is stored up for those individuals. Die believing that if you want to. Die believing it if you want to. Keep mocking. Go ahead.
A covenant for the chosen ones, but an inquisition for sinners.
Inquisition for what?
Sinners.
And let's get rid of that biggest lie ever told. The Most High love the sinner, but hate the sin. That ain't in the Bible. Ain't nowhere in the Bible. He don't love sinners. That's like a 12-step program. Hi, I'm Willie, and I'm a drug addict. Hi, Willie the drug addict. That keeps me in drug addict mode. Because if you've ever been to rehab, everybody there with their same drug, half the people outside smoking. But they're here for another addiction. But this one, they allow that one to go on. Hi, I'm an addict. So they keep their job. If you get well, they out of work.
That's right.
So this is what they do. They keep us in a 12-step program. Hi, I'm broken. I'm a sinner. Y'all know I'm a sinner. Just like this foolishness of them camps that teach iniquity. You can say, hey, I'm a sinner, and they say, everybody forgive them. Everybody got some sin problem. We all sinners. What the hell has that got to do with righteousness? You ain't going to be able to say that in the kingdom. You're going to have to say we all righteous. And that means it can't include lies or hypocrisy. What you got, Tubai?
Sirach 12:6.
What it say?
For the Most High hated sinners.
What does he hate?
Hated sinners.
So when you hear that term, he loved the sinner but hate the sin. What did he just say? He hate what?
The Most High hated sinners. And will repay vengeance unto the ungodly and keepeth them against the mighty day of their punishment.
To the mighty day of judgment. Same thing we reading right here. He hates sinners. And what we're talking about is practice sin, iniquity on that felony list. Because they get caught up, they justify it. They test the lie. They just a lie for that individual. And let them stay on that felony list. How you still on here and you saying you got visions of fornication? It was just a vision of fornication. As a man thinketh what?
So he is.
Who they think they fooling?
Yes, when the punishment of the Lord of spirits will rest on them, it will rest in order that the punishments of the Lord of spirits may not come in vain.
May not come in what?
May not.
See, the spirit ain't gonna come on you in vain, meaning worthlessness. It ain't gonna come on you so don't nothing get done. Right. See that Pentecostal doctrine, everybody jumping up and hollering, there's nothing getting done. Nobody knows what's said, and then the person that did it don't know what's said. The spirit is not in vain. When that spirit get on you, you are going to be working a work to show his glory and his majesty. Not like some of these charlatans doing that move and call themselves casting out demons and still won't answer that question. How did you do it? That's what we want to know. And even the ones who don't believe in the doctrine you don't, they won't ask you the question. Why do you think they won't ask each other the elephant in the room?
Right.
How did you do it? What name did you call upon? What's his name? Where is his dentist office located, or where is his false prophet room at? Where you get this from?
He's a proctologist.
Yeah. No, all it is what the scripture. What? Yeah, yes, sir, yes. But all it is, y'all, is Acts 19 chapter. It's the vagabond Jew that tries to cast out demons, and the demons jump on them. All you have to do is look at what you're looking at. The demon has jumped on them that they tried to cast out. One is into full demon worship. And the other one is just tampering around with self-help books. And then you got the one that brought all this madness here and liking strange things done in the shower. But yet Jephthah is evil. Y'all understand what I'm saying? Who has something back there? Let's keep rolling.
And it will slay the children with their mothers, and the children with their fathers. Afterward, the judgment will take place according to his mercy and his patience. And on that day, two monsters were parted.
On that day of judgment, two monsters we finna get into, y'all. So we're gonna get the understanding that these monsters, the individuals that they're compared to, and when we talk about monster, y'all, we always, when you think of monster, you think of something gigantic, you know. Y'all understand what I'm saying? Go ahead.
A female named Leviathan.
What is the female name?
Leviathan. To dwell in the abyss of the ocean over the fountains of water. But the male is named Behemoth, who occupied with his breast a waste wilderness named Duodan on the east of the garden.
On the east of what?
On the east of the garden, where the chosen ones and righteous dwell.
And see, paradise dwell on the east of the garden, right? Y'all understand what I'm saying? So it's letting us know this supernatural event is going to be compared to something y'all can relate to. A dinosaur or a dragon. See, because a dinosaur we look at as the biggest animal that ever roamed the earth. So you want to compare an individual to that monstrous size. And it says that the dragon dwell in the water. I saw the whore you read, Zeb, in Revelation 17. What that whore sit upon? Many waters. Let's read some more.
Where my grandfather was taken up. The seventh from Adam.
The seventh from Adam.
The seventh from Adam.
Enoch.
The first man whom the Lord of spirits created. And I sought the other messenger that he should show me the might of those monsters. Who they were parted.
How they were departed.
How they were parted on one day and cast. The one into the abyss of the sea, and the other into the dry land of the wilderness. And he said to me, you son of man, herein you seek to know what is hidden. And the other messenger who went with me and showed me what was hidden told me what is first and last in the height of heaven, and beneath the earth in the deep.
So is some beneath the earth? Let's get some more.
And at the ends of heaven, on the foundation of heaven, and the chambers of winds, and how the winds are divided, and how they are weighed.
You mean to tell me wind is weighed? Wind was weighed what we was getting last night and the night before. I'm talking about if you had them old school chimes up on there, they was ringing, boy, like you was at a concert out at, what's that thing, the Muni out at Forest Park. Ding, ling, 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 all night long. High winds. Leaves back when you thought you had got them all up a month ago.
I wonder where they came from.
Go ahead, bro.
And how the portals of the winds are reckoned, each according to the power of the wind, and the power of the lights of the moon, and according to the power that is fitted, and the divisions of the stars according to their names, and how all the divisions are divided, and the thunders according to the places where they fall, and all the divisions that are made among the lightnings, that it may lighten, and their hosts that they may immediately obey.
How soon should they obey?
Immediately obey. For the thunder has places of rest, which are assigned to it, while it is waiting for its peal. And the thunder and lightning are inseparable. And although not one and undivided, they both go together through the Spirit and do not separate.
So you always gonna hear thunder and lightning. Thunder and lightning. Lightning and thunder. But check this out. The lightning hit before the thunder. See, it does. That's how the Most High gets your attention. Boom! He hit it with lightning and then the thunder comes. See, that lets you know who it's coming from. See, that lets you know ain't no car crashed into the electric pole and knock your lights out. See, when your lights go out from that lightning flash that light up the world, boom, and then that thunder hit, boom, 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 and the lights go out. Who put them lights out? It wasn't Jimmy driving and his brakes was bad. No, this is different. He lets you know when I'm working. Is that a fair God? Yes. And he's warning everybody, don't get in line of this fire. I just warned you, and you get to look. Man, he put it on. He put it on that. That's what that warning is for. And his voice come right after that. Get in line. That's what the thunder is, his voice. See, so you say, okay. Okay. When that thunder hit, that lightning flash, you still out there getting your domino scored. But as soon as his voice come behind that light, boom, 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 and rumble that table, everybody, oh, what's time to go? It's time to go. Let's get some more.
For when the lightning lightens, the thunder utters its voice.
Yeah.
And the Spirit enforces a pause during the peal.
What the Spirit do?
Enforces a pause during the peal.
It forces a pause. Are you saying P-A-U-S-E?
Pause.
Yes, sir. It's giving you time to get it right. When you're dealing with a merciful God, y'all, there'll be no excuse. That means I've given you every avenue I can for you to come correct. And you just won't do it.
Won't act right.
Won't act right, can't get right.
Let it go.
You're a repeat offender. Go ahead.
And divides equally between them. For the treasure of their peals is like the sand, and each one of them, as it peals, is held in the bridle, with a bridle, and turned back by the power of the Spirit, and pushed forward according to the many quarters of the earth. And the spirit of the sea is masculine and strong. And according to the might of his strength, he draws it back with a rein. And in like manner, it is driven forward and dispersed amid all mountains of the earth. And the spirit of the hoarfrost is his own messenger. And the spirit of the hail is a good messenger. And the spirit of snow has forsaken his chambers on account of his strength. There is a special spirit therein, and that which ascends from it is like smoke, and its name is frost.
Can y'all understand that? You see frost and it's considered like smoke, because that's what frost look like on your window. It gives the same event of smoke. Frost does the same thing, but it's made by cold. See, and then you have that same frost over window from heat. Y'all, this is what Enoch seeing up. He said, oh, this is how it works. Everything that comes down on earth. Everything is by measurement. It's not by happenstance. It ain't just did like that. This is why weathermen have to do a forecast. It looks like God finna do this, but we ain't 100% sure.
Right.
It may rain tomorrow with storms and hail, and then tomorrow be sunny and bright. But you can't sue.
Right.
You can't say, I went out and bought shorts, I bought a new short set and some flip-flop forecast, as y'all said. They said, we said it may potentially rain tomorrow. We didn't tell you to go shopping. Let's get some more.
Verse 19.
Yeah.
And the spirit of the mist is not united with them in their chambers, but it is a special chamber. For its course is glorious both in light and in darkness, and in water and in winter and in summer. And a messenger is in its chamber. And the spirit of the dew has its dwelling at the ends of heaven, and is connected with the chambers of rain. And its course is in winter and summer, and its clouds and the clouds of the mist are connected, and the ones give to the other. And when the spirit of rain goes out from the chambers, the messengers come and open with the chamber and lead it out. And when it is diffused over the whole earth, it unites with the water on the earth. For the waters are for those who dwell on the earth. For they are nourishment for the earth from the Most High, who is in heaven. Therefore, there is a measure of rain. There is a measure for the rain. And the messenger take it in charge. And these things I saw toward the garden of the righteous.
For the garden of the what?
For the garden I saw toward the garden of the righteous. And the messenger of peace who was with me said to me, these two monsters.
These two who?
These two monsters prepared conformably to the greatness of Yahweh will feed.
So we're talking about these two great monsters, and we're still talking about the war of heaven, because where is Enoch seeing this right now? So he's looking at what he can tell us here on earth, what we may understand here on earth. Leviathan is like the Loch Ness monster. Have anybody seen it?
No.
They keep saying it's visions of it. It's in Loch Ness somewhere, but you can't get a photo of it. See, because it's supposed to be a monstrous creature that come up. All we do is got rumors of it. And so we can start to compare everything else to it. You know, we'll talk about you, man, you ugly as the Loch Ness Monster. So there ain't a monster on earth that's uglier than you. Because you uglier than the ugliest one. Y'all understand what I'm saying? So this is how it's writing to us so we can understand it in earthly language because it's coming from heaven. So that's Enoch up there, tells us where the wind come from, tells us how lightning and thunder work. It tells us how much rain is given out. Like California been dry. They had 3/4 inch of rain for a whole year. They get more than that in a month or a week in California. So they didn't get no rain, dried it all out. And then as soon as the fire stopped, here come the rain. So now we finna get mudslides. Because ain't no roots left from the fires burning up everything. So the dirt just break loose.
Man did that.
Y'all see that? But they'll have you believe in that. No, the Most High want correction in California.
But you know what else I'm looking at on here, man? You got some of these people out there that say we're not supposed to be drinking water, we're supposed to drink H3O. But this verse 22, it says, for the waters are for those who dwell on the earth.
Yeah.
For they are nourishment for the earth from the Most High who is in heaven. And we all know plants don't grow without water.
See, and when you start to hear all that foolishness, you can chew your water. I chew my water too. It's called ice.
Right.
In the cold glass of water. They make the water cold. But if you think you can get the same amount of water in a cup like this out of an apple, you fooling yourself. You're going to be dehydrated. Your lips going to be chapped. I'm talking about heavy chap. Look like some feet ain't had lotion or grease on them, on the heel of them. And he been walking in junkyard rocks. That's what's going to happen if you don't consume liquids.
You been playing in flour.
You walking through, you wrenching with no socks on. Go ahead, bro.
We're going Job 40.
Yeah. So what we wanted to do was establish that as far as Leviathan. So now we're going to get into, on this side, the word Job now, that was Enoch in the heavens, where Job, who was born on this side of the flood, going to explain it to y'all. Now, how I got this word at y'all, we're still in what's called World War I. That's spiritual World War I. We're still dealing with everything that happened before Adam was formed. And then we'll get into World War II. See, Enoch is talking about that World War I. Where he at? He ain't on earth talking about this, is he? He's talking about everything, the drama that came on earth came from up here for disobedience and iniquity. That World War I, because it was the whole world was involved, both the heavens and the earth. And that earth was destroyed. This is where they're trying to find Bigfoot, or what they call the missing link. Between Genesis 1 and 1 and Genesis 1 and 2. They call it the gap theory. We can't figure out what happened in between there. We know it was chaotic because everything else he created, he said in the morning, but even it was good. But this starts out after it being in the water, muddied up. And then when he corrects it in the evening and the morning, it was good. Because it's straightened out now. That make sense?
Yep.
Let's get some more.
Job chapter 40, verse 1.
Job chapter 40, y'all, we're going through now. And we're going to deal with these two beasts again that the superpowers in heaven is compared to. So that y'all understand what we're talking about, the superpowers and how men are done the same way. If you will, Ariel, just give me a little bit of that Ezekiel 31. Just a little bit, y'all. We're going to the Job 40, but just want to get just a little bit of Ezekiel 31. We got a good 15, 20 minutes, y'all. We're going to close on out of here. Because the other world wars are shorter scriptures. We just have to set this one up. Ezekiel 31 and 1. Y'all, and this is comparison on earth for great people. What we just got was a comparison in heaven for great ones. Ain't nobody on earth compared to those Leviathan and behemoths on the earth. They're compared to other things that we're comfortable with that we see daily on the earth. Get a little bit of Ezekiel 31 and 1. Read down for me a little bit. What it say?
The book of Ezekiel, chapter 31 and verse 1.
What it say?
And it came to pass in the 11th year, in the 3rd month, in the 1st day of the month, that the word of the Most High came unto me, saying, Son of man, speak unto Pharaoh, king of Egypt.
Speak unto who?
Pharaoh, king of Egypt.
And now we're talking about the one who's sitting on the throne. Go ahead.
And to his multitude. Whom art thou like in thy greatness?
Who art thou like in thy greatness, Pharaoh? Go ahead. Let's see who he like. Go ahead.
Behold, the Assyrian was a cedar in Lebanon.
So the Assyrian was like a cedar in Lebanon. That's how much power they had. When you look at the cedar tree and what it offers and what it does, that's what the Assyrians was like. Go ahead.
With fair branches and with a shadowing shrub. And of an high stature. And his top was among the thick boughs. The waters made him great. The waters
made him great. Yes, sir. The people. Yeah, go ahead.
The deep set him up on high with her rivers running round about his plant. And sent out her little river unto all the trees of the field. Therefore, his height was exalted above all the trees of the field.
All the trees of the field. Go ahead.
And his boughs were multiplied, and his branches became long because of the multitude of the waters which he shot forth. All the fowls of heaven made their nest in his boughs, and under his branches did all the beasts of the field bring forth their young, and under his shadow dwelt all great nations. Thus was he fair in his greatness, in the length of his branches, for his root was by great water. The cedars in the garden of Yahweh could not hide it. The fir trees were not like his bow. And the chestnut trees were not like his branches. Nor any tree in the garden of Yahweh was like unto him in his beauty.
So y'all see, we're still talking about trees in the garden. We're talking about what was in the midst of the garden, talking about Lucifer and the other trees of the garden was there. And what we're talking about is they wasn't there to confuse Adam and Eve. They was just there to protect him. But Lucifer, being who he was, his positions in the heavens, having on that breastplate, is talking a little noise. I can protect y'all better. Go ahead, what else is saying?
Verse 9.
Yeah.
I have made him fair by the multitude of his branches, so that all the trees of Eden that were in the garden of Yah envied him. Therefore, thus saith the Most High Yah, because thou hast lifted up thyself in height, and he hath shot up his top among the thick boughs, and his heart is lifted up in his height.
What is his heart lifted up in?
In his height. I have therefore delivered him into the hand of the mighty one of the heathen. He shall surely deal with him. I have driven him out for his wickedness.
I have driven him out for his wickedness. So we see again the comparison to Behemoth and Leviathan in the heavens. He's talking about Pharaoh now. The same situation. Yeah, he up, his pride got him too. He think he God on earth.
Right.
He got a lot of pride. He was Satan's right-hand man on this earth. Satan used Pharaoh for all his work on earth. Everything that he done, all of the magic tricks he done, was of the devil. And the Most High met him, Pharaoh, and his cedar trees with Aaron and Moses. And we know the outcome of that war. Here, even on earth, it was still the battle on earth. That was the same spiritual battle. Y'all, it started off supernatural. It didn't start off with fists. It started off with a rod thrown on the ground and turned to a serpent. And then they did it, and Moses' rod ate theirs up, and Pharaoh jumped back. And then those plagues started. Darkness, thick darkness for 3 days. Yeah. I'm talking about darkness. If you light a match, the only thing it illuminates is just the match head. You can't even see your thumb and finger holding it. That's thick darkness where you can feel it like this. You're like, I can feel this darkness. Thick darkness for 3 days. So ain't no work getting done. But guess what was happening in the land of Goshen? Sunshine, blue skies. We were sitting back like this in Goshen. Man, it's awful dark over there. In Pharaoh's area. Wasn't nothing around us, y'all.
Nah.
Let's get some more.
You want some more of that?
No, I don't want no more of that. Y'all can hold up. Just wanted to touch on that.
Back to that.
Job 40.
Yeah.
And we're gonna touch on this long because we're kind of running out of time, and I need to get to these scripts of these other two world wars. World War II, which is the flood of Noah, and World War III, spiritually and earthly, which is the second coming of Messiah. That will be spiritual World War III on this earth. Tied into what they call World War III, Gog and Magog. The final world war. They even say it. They just don't want you to make the connection between heaven and earth. They want to keep you on earth. The only time we going out of space, we're going to let y'all know we're going so far, y'all ain't going to be worried about what's a billion years away, because it ain't nothing a billion years away. We just heard the universe has a border. But they'll never get to it. It's too far expanded for them. They will never find out the border. Let's get some more.
Job chapter 40, verse 1.
Yes, sir. Hold on. Let's go 40, 15. Let's just skip through. Y'all read 1 through 15. We just need to get right to it, y'all, because we're running out of time. Job 40 and 15 we're going to go to. Go ahead, bro. I'll catch up.
Job chapter 40, verse 15.
Yes, sir.
Behold now, Behemoth.
Behemoth, y'all, we just read about him in Enoch, huh?
Yeah.
And when you get into Job 38, it's the Most High asking Job, you know everything about earth, and your friends is trying to tell you about things that happen on earth. But I'm going to ask you a bunch of questions. In Job 38, the Most High is asking, where was you when I created Orion? Where was you when I created the universe? Where was you this? So don't get tangled up in what these individuals is talking about.
Right.
I'm explaining things to you that cause the trouble and pain you're having here. Lucifer, who's on your head, who destroyed and killed your children and everything, took everything from your flesh. And understand, it didn't kill Job's wife. She said, curse God and die, but it attacked Job's flesh. It killed all his children, which is Job's flesh. His wife became one flesh, but she's the flesh of her father and her mother. But his flesh was destroyed. All his children was killed. And he got them all back in the end, right? Got all his children back, all of them back in the end, so to speak. So that's what we have to understand. So now we're into Job looking at Behemoth, and he's going to explain the same power to him. He just went heaven on him. Y'all read the whole 38th chapter of Job, and you're going to see. You're going to see things in there like Mazaroth, and people going to say, well, that's the zodiac. Yes, it's there, but it's not to be worshipped. It don't say, if I'm born in March, I'm a Pisces. Ain't nothing in the scripture say that.
Right.
It ain't no stone called amethyst or whatever it is, a greenish color, and say, that's March stone. That's for Pisces stone. It ain't like that. That's the dark side that start labeling that for you like that. So now, everybody that's born in March, you have to follow this way. It says, okay, well, he's like this. He's mild-mannered. He's this and that. And then you have the other nations like the twin. What is the twin? What month is that? Gemini.
And Pisces.
Gemini. So they train you that you can be Jekyll and Hyde. Well, you know I am a Gemini. Sometime I go off, and sometime I feed a baby.
That's called bipolar.
Right.
Yeah, we call it bipolar, but they call it Gemini. And you start chasing that. And you wear mood rings and you say, this is my birthstone. You don't have a birthstone. Your stone is the Messiah, the rock that you have to build your foundation on. You don't get a stone, even the high priest's breastplate. It's either 4 down and 3 across rows of 12, or it's 3 across and 4 down. Don't nobody know. So if the first tribe, if that's your tribe or Judah, if it's 3 down, then you have to get him over here in the next of line number 2 coming 3 down, because that makes it the 4th tribe. But it don't work that way because you don't know if it's 4 across. You don't know if it's Judah over here, the 4th stone, if you go 4 across instead of 3 across. Well, I'm doing that math again, ain't I? But y'all have to understand, the Most High don't want us to chase things and name ourselves after them. He only wanted us to look at that as glory and compare a tribe to a ruby or to an amethyst. He said, I'm only comparing you to its beauty. So you can look and say, this is a gemstone. That's what the children of Israel was compared to. Like Lamentations 4. How have the gold become dim? Israel used to shine. You know anybody to take care of their gold teeth and to be sparkling? You have to do like this, like A.Z. Ben Yehuda. You'd be like, wait a minute, quit smiling. Versus one who ain't took care of his gold tooth in 3 or 4 years. It just looked dull. You be like, man, your teeth yellow. You just was eating popcorn with that one tooth? He like, no, man, this is actually a gold. You like, what?
It's a little copper.
Boy, look at him. Copper. So y'all, if y'all understand in like manner, let's get it, y'all. We ain't got but 12 minutes. Go ahead.
Job chapter 40, verse 15.
Yeah.
Behold now, Behemoth, which I made with thee, he eateth grass as an ox.
See, and when he say, when I made with you, it ain't either you got to have a dinosaur on this side of the flood for Job to say it, because Job lived on this side of the flood. But when he talking about when I made with you, the whole entire thing, y'all, is we all part of this one thing, Genesis to Revelation. So when he telling Job, I made this with you when I made the entire world. The whole plan was made. But I just need you to put it where you can. What you looking at too by your lip? Go ahead. What does it say?
Lo now, his strength is in his loins, and his force is in the navel of his belly. He moveth his tail like a cedar. He the sinews of his stones are wrapped together.
So what it's trying to tell you is like all his strength is in the loins. And that's where power will come from, a man's loins. He thrust off of his loin power, so to speak. That's where he make children at, from loin power. So it's telling you that, and it says his tail moves like a cedar tree. So we just read how big a cedar tree. What animal has a tail that's as long as a cedar tree? But what we would call a dinosaur, so to speak. The only animal we can look to and see that has a tail this long. Some teach outside of the Bible that it was a hippopotamus. A hippopotamus tail barely a fan away the flies around his rear end. It's only that long. Right. And he be flipping it around. And all it do is splash doo-doo around. Y'all seen National Geographic? I watch that stuff. Yeah. And it flies, and all it do is splash doo-doo around. That ain't Behemoth. Right. He ain't no strength in his loins, what we're talking about. Let's read where else it say he hang out at. Go ahead.
Verse 18. His bones are as strong pieces of brass. His bones are like bars of iron. He is the chief of the ways of Yahweh.
Now y'all see how Behemoth is compared to the chief of the ways of Yahweh? It's basically explaining Behemoth is the power in heaven that the Most High that you see on earth is like comparing a dinosaur to a dragon.
Right.
See, a dinosaur could get in water, but a dragon technically can't live on earth because he needs the water. So it's kind of getting into that language, but it's letting you know, behold Behemoth, who I made with you.
Right.
I'm giving you a look. So when y'all see, like there's a museum in the bottom of the arch, got dinosaur replicas and different things down there. When you go down there and then you read Job 40:15 again, look at what you read. While we keep reading, y'all, somebody just look up the height of the tallest dinosaur. But everybody just keep reading. Somebody just Google that real quick so we get that, because the ark was 50 feet tall. And I have saw where the tallest dinosaur was only 29, 30 feet. So there's a 20-foot room, but we got to get him on the ark. Or he got to be put back before Genesis 1:1. Go ahead, let's read some more, y'all. We're in this 40 Job, but y'all just look up that for me real quick.
18 again.
Yeah.
His bones are as strong pieces of brass. His bones are like bars of iron. He is the chief of the ways of Yahweh.
He is the chief of the ways of Yahweh. Go ahead.
He that made him can make his sword to approach unto him. Surely the mountains bring him forth food, where all the beasts of the field play. He lieth under the shady tree,
right,
in the covert of the reed and fens.
So when y'all look up reed and fens, y'all gonna see it's like lowland marsh or grass, only come up to about the shin bone area or something. It say that's where he kind of dwell, in lowland reed. And when you look at dinosaurs, they always got them in marsh and low reed. It wants you to look at this like you want to approach something that powerful. You see it from a distance, but you keep your distance. But it's telling you that's where it dwells, around the earth, around people. It's strong, but actually it's for protection. It says it's a shade in the reed. It's going to explain a little bit more what it do. Go ahead.
The shady trees cover him with their shadow. The willows of the brook compass about him. Behold, he drinketh up a river and hasteth not.
So can a hippopotamus drink up a river?
No.
Go ahead.
he trusted that he can draw up Jordan unto his mouth. He taketh it with his eyes, his nose piercing through the snare.
So it's just explaining behemoth so that when we think about a monstrous creature on earth that we can compare all the ways of God is to the chief that's on earth. You know, this thing that's out of the water that we can, because we deal on earth, not in the water. And it already done told us what to expect in the water. So we're going to get right into chapter 41, and it's going to talk about Leviathan, but we're talking about it from an earthly perspective. And so what it's talking about, Leviathan, who is technically the followers of the devil, is going to explain to you about them that follow Leviathan on the earth, that have that mindset that he's the greatest or that he's the most powerful. Satan has power, but he don't have power unless you give it to him. Do that make sense? You have to give him what he needs. It's like people champion the moon, but the moon don't light up unless it gets its power or light from the sun. The moon has zero light. Every bit of light it get comes from the sun. And the sun is called the greater what?
Right.
And the moon is called the what?
Lesser light.
Let's keep reading, y'all.
The book of Job, chapter 41 and verse 1.
We're going to read just a couple of them. We're going to jump down to verse 33. Y'all read all in between.
Canst thou draw out Leviathan with a hook?
So basically, can you catch Leviathan, the fire-breathing dragon, like you catch buffalo or Jackson? Can you draw it out with a hook? Can you cast it in? I got you, Leviathan. Yeah, you gonna get out of everything. You gonna get on this boat. Can you draw it out? Go ahead. What else to say?
Or his tongue with a cord which thou lettest down? Canst thou put an hook into his nose? Or bore his jaw through with a thorn? Will he make many supplications unto thee? Will he speak soft words unto thee? Will he make a covenant with thee? Wilt thou take him for a servant forever? Wilt thou play with him as with a bird?
You better not. Go ahead.
Or wilt thou bind him for thy maiden?
Don't hook him up with your maidens. Go ahead.
Shall the companions make a banquet of him? Shall they part him among the merchants?
See, you're going to pull him out and you think you're going to make shoes out of Leviathan? Like we talk about, man, how them gators look, man. Them gators is sharp. But OG Jeremiah, you ain't got no Leviathans, boy, in the closet. No, you can't, you know, they like, man, what is them? Man, these some Leviathans, boy.
I used to have some hippopotamus.
Oh, yeah.
That mean he ain't him? That ain't it, right?
No, that ain't it, boy. You ain't got no Leviathans. You ain't talking about no dangerous animal shoes. Y'all know them dangerous animals, snakes, gators, lizards. Dangerous animal shoes. But some Leviathans. Let's get some more.
You want to jump there?
Yeah, we're going to jump on down. Y'all read the rest of that because it's going to tell you a lot about him trying to catch him. I tell you what, start about verse 19. And it's going to tell you this is where you get that term fire-breathing dragon. And why Magog chases the dragon. They call Enter the Dragon, right? Yeah. And the dragon is always red, ain't it? So that's who they working. And that doctrine is called communism. Communism. The dragon doctrine. Let's get some more.
Verse 19.
Yeah.
Out of his mouth go burning lamps.
What go out of his mouth?
Burning lamps. And sparks of fire leap out.
Had y'all always seen Godzilla, sparks leaping out of his mouth and nose, and he always come out of the water? Ain't that what Godzilla always come out of and turn down the building? Let's get some more.
Verse 20.
Yeah.
Out of his nostrils goeth smoke, as out of a seething pot or cauldron.
Right.
His breath kindleth coals, and a flame goeth out of his mouth. In his neck remaineth strength, and sorrow is turned into joy before him. The flakes of his flesh are joined together. They are firm in themselves. They cannot be moved.
Meaning that the rib cage or like fins or scales is closely knit together. You can't even slip nothing in between it to catch him off guard and, slip a shank on him. Exactly. You can't shank it. Go ahead.
Verse 24.
Yeah.
His heart is as firm as a stone, as hard as a piece of the nether millstone. When he raiseth up himself, the mighty are afraid.
The mighty are afraid. Go ahead.
By reason of breakings, they purify themselves. The sword of him that layeth at him cannot hold, the spear, the dart, nor the habergeon.
So it's telling all you knucklehead, when you chase Satan, you ain't gonna never outslick the slickster. You think you're gonna outslick the devil, you're gonna ride with him in this life, and then you're gonna try to jump on the bandwagon on the Most High side at the end. You ain't gonna slick the devil. How you gonna slick a can of oil? Go ahead, bro.
Verse 27.
Yeah.
He esteemeth iron as straw, and brass as rotten wood.
Y'all see how he look at that? He look at brass like rotten wood. You can kick rotten wood loose.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Verse 28.
Yeah.
The arrow cannot make him flee. Sling stones are turned with him into stubble.
You can't threaten the devil and he run off. You have to resist him with the word and he'll get going. There's no tool that you can put on the devil. You can talk tough. You can say to the devil, I'll put my foot in your rear end. He's just say, we'll see when you go to sleep. We'll just see how you tough when you go to sleep. I want to see how you use that 9mm in your dream. I want to see how you use that spear hook in your dream when I come to you as Leviathan. And I get on your chest and be breathing that fire in your face just like that. Rah! And you start hollering, Mama! Mama!
Wrong holler.
He said, that's exactly who I want you to holler for. Me. I'm your mother that sit upon many waters. Keep hollering for me. Now you scared to go back to sleep. Most High said, I bring you peace in your sleep. That's what David said. Make my sleep peaceful. I don't want nightmares. Let's get some more.
Verse 29.
Yeah.
Darts are counted as stubble. He laugheth at the shaking of a spear.
Y'all, don't y'all know the Messiah is telling us that our devil, he rolls around as a roaring what? Seeking whom he may what?
Devour.
You can't get him with no cheap bootleg whiskey doctrine. The devil don't care about that. You be working for him. You'll be trying to cast Satan out of Satan. Let's get some more.
Verse 30.
Yeah.
Sharp stones are under him. He spreadeth sharp pointed things upon the mind. He maketh the deep to boil like a pot. He maketh the sea like a pot of ointment. He maketh a path to shine after him. One would think the deep to be horrid.
He making a path to shine. I mean, he called the angel of light, ain't he?
Yeah.
He's called the morning star. But see, the Messiah is called the bright and morning star. There's a difference. Go ahead.
Verse 33.
We're going to hold right here on 33. Go ahead.
Upon earth there is not his like, who is made without fear.
Let's see who he's in charge of.
He beholdeth all high things. He is a king over all the children of pride.
Who is he the king over?
All the children of pride.
The children of pride. Leviathan is your leader. When you say he ain't no longer with Behemoth, he with Leviathan. When you say this Bible is tampered with, because you giving him power. You saying we can't break Satan's rank. Quit doing what Satan like and you can break it. Quit making up your own laws, Pharisees, camp Negroes. You got Fidel Castro talking about he anointed. That dude look just like Fidel Castro from Cuba. The one that's doing the ball egg testing.
Oh, Lord.
Oh.
So, man, I don't know where he come from, but he say he got direct lineage to Levi, and ain't nobody asked him to prove that yet. See, it's not a proved doctrine because they are instructed that way. You understand what I'm saying? Never to go against him. No matter what he say is true, whether you know it's a lie or not, you still can't challenge him and straighten him out. You can't tell him you going the way of hell. You can't do that to us. We righteous people. How you lower corner working, incense selling individual gonna tell me something? And by right they can, because if you let a man come up to you, you've been working all day for 8 hours, and he say, give me the money you made. I need it for my priest duties. What about me, priest? My children ain't got no Pampers, and my wife ain't ate in 2 days.
If you got,
They'll eat.
If you got to say that, you already lost.
We're already lost. You right there.
100%.
You already lost.
Y'all, let's pick this up, y'all. So that was the end of World War I. We just wanted to let y'all understand from those scriptures of what we're dealing with when you're dealing with Lucifer and his hierarchy and his ranking opposed to the hierarchy that we were given on earth. And it's just comparison, y'all. This is what the scripture doing, is making comparison of that world outside. So let's get to World War II real quick, y'all. We're going to speed through these. They real short scripts. And then we'll get to World War III, which is very short scripts and maybe some homework. So y'all, that was all World War I, spiritual on heaven and earth. We dealt with everything concerning that war in heaven and earth. Now we're going to World War II, what takes place in the restored earth that Adam was on, and it got chaotic, and a world war happened again. Did everybody die in the flood? I'm talking about everybody that was not found righteous. Yes. Nobody but Noah and his children and their wives. Everything else was destroyed in that World War II. Y'all understand what I'm saying? So just like World War I in this nation came about with this nation just kind of conquering, or every nation finding their own way. That was technically like restoring planet Earth for like America came into existence. It became a world power. Everybody started trading with everybody. That technically, and then like you had the Tower of Babel when everybody was working. So that World War I, when you're looking at it like that, on this side of the first flood, that was our kind of World War I. Then we had World War II in Germany. And that's when things got a little bit more technology exploded. Nuclear bomb, look, we'll get to it because it's something about the two different nuclear bombs that's used. Water and fire. Mm-hmm. And they're going to line up with water and fire for this World War II and World War III. Mm-hmm. It's going to be the same thing. They released their version of their flood called hydrogen nuclear. That's water-based bomb. And they dropped that on two nations to end World War II. Y'all understand what I'm saying? When they dropped that on Japan, the war is over. Then this Earth World War III is thermonuclear. So that third World War will be fire too. Thermonuclear. Because thermonuclear, what they dropped on Japan, a suitcase size or just a thermos size thermo is 250 of them water bombs. Y'all understand the difference in the power? So just like the flood destroyed the world in World War II that we finna read, that was by water or water hydrogen, it destroyed the whole world. But the final world spiritual war, the Most High say, I'm gonna bring fire on earth. And I'm gonna destroy everything by fire. Mm-hmm. Satan is doing the same thing with his nuclear bomb, and he got it in the hands of Magog, Russia, China, Gog, and he's got it in the hands of the Babylonians, which is a system, which is America and Israel. They got nuclear. No dark nations have nuclear. Ain't an African nation on this planet got nuclear. Ain't no dark nations got nuclear. So this is what we're talking about, y'all, that where you can start to look at him like Leviathan, Russia and China, the dragon, because they have that nuclear power.
Right.
See, America, Russia, and China had to sign an agreement called MAD, M-A-D, Mutual Assured Destruction. If I launch and you launch, there won't be nobody left on planet Earth. That's how much nuclear is on this planet right now. Fire. Y'all watch a movie called The Knowing. Y'all gonna know exactly what we're talking about.
What's it called?
The Knowing. You watch the end of The Knowing. Let's get it, y'all. Let's speed this up. We gotta get through World War II. We're gonna read real quick, y'all. We may not read it all. Genesis 6.
The book of Genesis, chapter 6 and verse 1.
What it say?
And it came to pass, when men began to multiply on the face of the earth,
yes, sir,
and daughters were born unto them, that the sons of Yah saw the daughters of men, that they were fed,
And they took them wives of all which they chose. And the Most High said, my spirit shall not always strive with man, for that he also is flesh. Yet his days shall be 120 years. There were giants in the earth in those days, and also after that, when the sons of Yah came in unto the daughters of men, and they bare children to them. The same became mighty men which were of old, men of renown.
So people like to say, well, it says sons of God. That means Adam offspring got with the daughters of Cain. That ain't gonna make him a giant. That there ain't no way gonna make him supernatural. So it says sons of God, meaning the angels are sons of God, because they are supernatural. The angels, this speaking of the sons of God in heaven, is talking about them, not the sons of men that made it with women.
Right.
Jump down to verse 8. Y'all read in between, y'all. We're going to have to skip a little bit. Y'all read in between.
Verse 8.
Yeah.
But Noah found grace in the eyes of the Most High.
Ain't this the same grace, y'all, we read in the New Testament? In Hebrews, in Romans. Grace ain't just started. It said Noah found grace. Unmitigated mercy. You don't deserve it, but I'm going to give it to you because you're obedient. Few things you kind of off on, but it's enough that you're obedient.
Right.
Get some more.
Verse 9.
Yes.
These are the generations of Noah. Noah was a just man and perfect in his generation. And Noah walked with Yah.
Yeah.
And Noah begot 3 sons.
Yeah.
Shem, Ham, and Japheth. The earth also was corrupt before Yah, and the earth was filled with violence. And Yah looked upon the earth, and behold, it was corrupt. For all flesh had corrupted his way upon the earth. And Yah said unto Noah, the end of all flesh is come before me, for the earth is filled with violence through them. And behold, I will destroy them with the earth.
Y'all read the rest of it. Y'all gonna see where the ark is made. And he's saying, I'm finna get rid of them. I'm finna destroy. I'm finna do World War II spiritually on heaven and earth. I'm finna destroy planet Earth. Well, technically World War II on the earth, but it came from heaven because the waters came down for 40 days and 40 nights. Not only that, but the deep opened up. All of the whales on planet Earth, all of the whale water sprung up too. Like sewers back up when you get heavy rain. I want y'all to think about the earth throwing up water and water coming down for 40 days and 40 nights. If we get flooded out in 2 hours, what do you think about 40 days and 40 nights? 960 hours of rain. I'm talking about heavy rain from the top and from the bottom. Destroyed it like World War II bomb, that hydrogen bomb shut Japan down, and they still suffering to this day behind. That was just hydrogen, that was just water. They stopped that World War II, or that ended World War II, just like this ended that second world with Adam. And Satan and his boys again caused that war because the angels taught them how to make weapons and mix kinds and do everything that destroyed the first world. The whole mission is to get rid of Adam and his offspring. If we get rid of them, we stay in our position, don't have to worry about serving no dirt man. So y'all, we're going to hold that. Y'all read the rest of that. We just got to get right next to Enoch. Chapter 55, y'all. We're just going to read real quick. It ain't but yeah. I tell you what. Y'all read, because of time's sake, y'all, we got to get out of here. Enoch 54 and the 55th chapter. And it's going to go into the same things about the earth being destroyed for the flood. And it's going to explain it like World War II on the earth. Enoch, first Enoch, chapter 54 and 55. We'll go with this Genesis 6. We just don't have the time to go through it right now. But we'll touch base on it. There'll be homework for y'all to get into that. We just going to hit these real quick one-liners. Luke 17, and it's going to talk about World War II on planet Earth and in the heavens, the flood of Noah. And it's going to explain the third war that's coming. And y'all, we only got some one-liners on them, y'all. We're going to close out. So let's get it, y'all. Luke 17, 22. And y'all, we still in the flood area to get some explanation of this Second World War. so to speak, on earth. Luke 17, verse 22. Yeah, we almost out here. We ain't got but a couple more. Daylight saving time happening soon? Tomorrow? So we get another hour. Oh, that's speed up though. I get cut short, don't I?
Yeah, that's what they say. Let's go to bed early tonight.
Yeah, it don't make much difference. Look, yeah. Let's get it, y'all.
Luke chapter 17, verse 22. And he said unto the disciples, these days will come when ye shall desire to see one of the days of the Son of Man, and ye shall not see it. And they shall say to you, see here, or see there. Go not after them, nor follow them.
Because people gonna say, where your God at?
Right.
I ain't never seen him, man. He up there in them clouds. He don't never show. And they gonna say, man, we got a God. Yeah, he done made a couple false prophecies. Yeah, he been dibbling and dabbling in the dark side. But he our high priest. At least we can see him.
Right.
You just have to put up with his iniquities that we won't warn him about. He said, don't run after him, because you ain't seen the Messiah. You'll see the Messiah. He'll visit you with spiritual gifts and visions, like he said. Go ahead. What else to say, bro?
Verse 24.
Yeah.
For as the lighting that lighteth out of the one part under heaven shineth unto the other part under heaven, so shall also the Son of Man be in his day. But first must he suffer many things and be rejected of his generation.
Now let's see. He says it's going to be like the beginning of World War II during the flood. What did he say right here?
And as it is in the days of Noah, so shall it be also in the days of the Son of Man.
The wiping out. But let's see what they was doing when that happened. He said because World War III here, and when I bring that drama here so you understand both of them, this is what's going to happen. What were they doing at that time? Verse 27.
They did eat. They drank. They married wives. They were given in marriage until the day that Noah entered into the ark. And the flood came and destroyed them all.
And what did the next verse say?
Likewise also as it was in the days of Lot.
Yeah.
They did eat, they drank, they brought and sold, they planted, they builded. But the same day that Lot went out of Sodom, it rained fire and brimstone from heaven and destroyed them all.
So you see how I went into it, say just like I ended that in that flood, they're saying it's going to be similar to that. He's going to wipe everything out. But he's going to do it, I want you to understand, it's going to be like Sodom and Gomorrah. What wiped them out? Brimstone. Fire, brimstone. Water did not wipe them out. So it's telling you it's going to be comparable to the World War II on earth, the flood. But it's going to have fire this time. So it's going to destroy everything like thermonuclear does.
And it'll be a great...
Let's hold this, y'all, and just get this next. 2 Peter chapter 2. Y'all, and that'll end the World War II because it ain't that many for us to jump back and see. And then just we'll run these World War III one-liners. It look like some are long, but we're going to just hit to the point of them and just have everybody read it all. 2 Peter 3. Was that 2 Peter 2? I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm sorry. 2 Peter 2. Let's get it. Real quick, y'all. We got to get on out of here. 2 Peter 2, 1 through 9. Who got it?
2 Peter chapter 2, verse 1. But there were also false prophets also among the people.
False prophets, go ahead.
Even as there shall be false teachers among you, who privily shall bring in damnable heresies.
Damnable heresy. The Most High is a murderer. He kills babies. The Bible is tampered. Damnable heresies that they passing around and then still expect you to believe that they are serving of the Most High and chant off of both things. So they think, you know, man, yeah, I went up in there, man. All praise to Wahashah, Ben Hawashah, Bahawashah, Bahawashah. See, and they make you think that they really about something.
Right.
Let's get some more.
Even denying the Lord that brought them.
What they doing?
Denying the Lord that brought them. And bringing upon themselves swift destruction.
Swift destruction. Y'all, it's going to be swift, y'all. You may think it's taking a time, but when it hit, it's going to be swift. Go ahead.
And many shall follow their pernicious ways, by reason of whom the way of truth shall be evil spoken of.
Many gonna follow them, y'all. Many will still follow these knuckleheads by the way many by the reason of whom the way of truth shall be evil spoken of. So it's the way truth is being evil spoken of. If you say Jephthah sacrificed his daughter on fire, and then you start repeating that, you losing your mind. How is he going to punish all the kings for doing it, for sacrificing to Molech, and won't punish this man, but yet put his Holy Spirit on? And he still do evil? This is what we talk about, the way of evil. Many shall follow the pernicious way, by the reason of whom the way of truth shall be evil spoken of. They're basically saying God is evil. Right. And people going to chase behind him. You know why? Because they don't want judgment day. They want to keep doing what they doing on that felony list. Y'all, and it's just a felony list. And I'm not saying it's just that it don't matter. I'm saying that everything that's in that felony list, they tell you to practice. Because our hierarchy does it. What you got back there, L9?
And then that ties into that rapper too. They ain't gonna face none of this.
None of that. Because they believe they can get away without judgment. Right. Let's get some verse 3 of this, y'all. Let's speed it up. We ain't got nothing but 6 minutes. Go ahead.
Verse 3.
Yeah.
And through covetousness shall they with vain words make merchandise of you.
Covetousness. Want what you got. Want what his neighbor got. Give me your gift. Give me that. Give me your woman.
What?
Go ahead.
Whose judgment now of a long time lingereth not. And their damnation slumbereth not. For if Yahweh spared not the angels that sinned, but
World War I, go ahead.
But cast them down to hell and delivered them into chains of darkness to be reserved for judgment, and spared not the old world.
World War II, go ahead.
But saved Noah, the eighth person, a preacher of righteousness, bringing in the flood upon the world of the ungodly, and turneth the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah into ashes, condemned them with an overthrow, making them an example unto those that after should live ungodly.
So it was a warning. If you live like they live, fire coming for your rear end. And guess what they doing now to say we can stop that fire? Victova. Y'all know that commercial. It start off with some dude dressed up like a woman looking like RuPaul after a bar fight. Hands this damn big. Look like, boy, he could palm a basketball. Look like he got a tennis ball in his hand. And it's saying, if you want to be with me and men who look like, women's folks who look like me, take Victova.
Look like Andre the Giant.
Yes, sir. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 7.
Yeah.
And delivered just Lot, vexed with the filthy conversation of the wicked.
Vexed with the filthy conversation. Y'all, we ain't experienced what Lot experienced. Everybody that talked to him talked nasty. Man, you still waiting on that God. Why you here with us? You see what's going on around here. When you gonna join the program? When you gonna start wearing butt-out jeans? And thongs and a thong in public, not a jockey strap. When you gonna get with us? That's vexed every day. Hearing activity outside his window and he got to close it. Take that type of noise outside his window.
I saw a picture day before yesterday of a woman that had, only thing she had was just this part covered and her. You could see all of this.
Yeah.
All of that was out.
Oh, that's lightweight, Emo. They show the front now.
Oh.
Yeah, Emo, that was World War. They into World War III of nakedness now. Go ahead, what does it say, verse 8?
Verse 8, for that righteous man dwelling among them.
In the world, but not of the world. Go ahead.
In seeing and hearing, vexed his righteous soul from day to day with their unlawful deeds.
See, day to day they was doing it with their unlawful deed every day. Just run past your window. You got the honey, I got the butter.
Wow.
Goose grease.
Watch out now.
Goose grease.
Where that music come from?
Boy, look here. Everywhere you go that they've been around is signs that say slippery when wet.
Right.
Let's get some more, bro. Where you at? Verse
9.
Yes, sir.
The Lord knoweth how to deliver the godly out of temptation, and to reserve the unjust unto the day of judgment to be punished.
Verse 10 is what he's going to lay down.
But chiefly them that walk after the flesh in the lust of uncleanness.
After the flesh in the lust of uncleanness. Especially them. Go ahead.
And despise government. Presumptuously are they. Self-willed. They are not afraid to speak evil of dignity.
And you're not afraid if you say the Most High does child sacrifice. Right. Your God is the devil. Question everything in the Bible. And try to make us feel like he's talking about us. He ain't talking about us, y'all. He's over our head. He's talking about the Creator. That's why they create another Creator doctrine that don't include them. And your race ain't in them doctrines. No more is your race in the Book of Mormon to say you mud people.
Right.
Now you chasing another one that say the same thing. Y'all, that was World War II, y'all. Look, we're going to hit World War III really quickly, but we're only going to do the one-liners. We ain't got time for it all. That same 2 Peter. Just read 1 through 3, y'all. Y'all read the rest for time's sake. We're just going to read 1 through 3. That same 2 Peter chapter 3. Y'all, now we into World War III. We just finished up World War II, so to speak, and everything that's attributed to it on this side that we read about for the people that lived after the flood. Peter was telling them. So we want to go to 2 Peter 3. Y'all read 1 through 8. We just going to jump down. How much of that we want to get? 1 Peter 1 through 9. No, 3. 1 through 3. We're going to do it all. I tell you, just 1 through 6. 1 through 8. 1 through 8. That's all. Real quick, y'all. And we only got one more, y'all. We're going to close out. The rest going to be homework.
The book of 2 Peter chapter 3 in verse 1.
What it say?
This second epistle, beloved, I now write unto you, in both which I stir up your pure minds by way of remembrance.
What kind of mind?
Your pure mind.
Y'all, so it's saying I'm going after your soul now. That's your pure mind.
Right.
This heart of flesh that we wear on our sleeve, that's your tainted mind. It's tainted. It'll corrupt in 72 hours. But your pure mind, your conscience live forever. I'm finna talk to you about your consciousness now. Go ahead.
Verse 2.
Yeah.
That ye may be mindful of the words which were spoken before by the holy prophets, and of the commandment of us, the apostles of the Most High and Savior, knowing this first, that there shall come in the last days scoffers, walking after their own lust. After their own lust.
Notice it keep coming. That's their own lust.
Yep.
They chasing and they trying to downplay the Bible to get you to come join them into the doctrine of idleness.
Right.
Don't work. Get on the internet doing working hours. Don't do nothing. Keep your mind on idleness. Find out somebody else into some tomfoolery. Let me jump on their page. Go ahead.
Verse 4. And saying, where is the promise of his coming?
Man, y'all been waiting, man. That's why I got out the word, man. It's been, I knew I shouldn't have got in there. It's been 2,000 years when I got in. I was only in it for 6 months, and I'm tired already. Mm-hmm. Where is his coming? Farrakhan do it. Y'all still waiting on a man to come out of the cloud. We sure ain't waiting on Ron L. Hubbard Dianetics that you teaching now. Right. Scientology, we ain't waiting on that. Yeah. Hell, you told us Elijah went up in a spaceship. What is you doing into Dianetics now? The Church of Scientology. You agreeing with him now. Mars Hill. Same thing. What you got, Emo?
I just heard that this week. I'm tired of waiting on it.
Look, they tired. Let them be tired. 1,000 years is just one day to the Lord. If you don't understand that, you gonna die. You may die first before the second coming happens. And what is that day to you anyway if the second coming happens? You sure you ready to see if your name written in the book of life? Are you sure you done all you can and you want this thing to rush on here? Y'all, everything we seeing today with Donald Trump and everything he's cutting out, there's a side of us that say, I'm glad it's here, but there's a side of us saying, oh, but we got to go through that fire. We got to do everything we've been reading about and telling everybody we tough enough to handle. That time is upon us. It's right here at our door. Y'all, we may have to find out what it's like to try to live with no money. And can't pay no bills, so we may get put out. And if our relatives try to feed us, they got everything on lock. What you doing? We ration our food to you. You bought an extra loaf of bread. Who'd you give that to? And then track you all the way over to me where I'm hiding in a sewer.
Oh, Sodom and Gomorrah, huh? Like they did P.O.Box, Lot's daughter.
Boy, look here, hide down there and feed. That's what Lot's daughter was doing in Sodom and Gomorrah. That's why they killed one of Lot. Lot had 4 daughters. One of them got killed, a virgin daughter, feeding homeless people that Sodom and Gomorrah used to beat up. She used to sneak them bread. And they said, who snuck them bread? They found out it was Lot's daughter. They grabbed her, poured honey all over, and set bumblebees on her. For about doing a righteous act to help somebody with this. Let's read some more. Y'all read that in the book of Jasher.
That's verse 4.
Yeah.
And saying, where is the promise of his coming? For since the fathers fell asleep,
Since Adam fell asleep, go ahead.
all things continue as they were from the beginning of the creation.
From the beginning of the creation. It's like, look, ain't nothing changed. We still wait.
That's it.
Y'all was talking about the second coming before Adam. Y'all have been talking about it. When is it going to happen? Let's get some more.
Verse 5.
Yeah.
For this they willingly are ignorant of. And by the word of Yah the heavens were of old.
The heavens were of old, okay.
And the earth standing out of the water and in the water.
So how far did we go back to? World War I, didn't we? This Genesis 1 and 1. It's Peter again, right? He's going back how far? To that first World War.
Yeah.
And talking about crimes of people that don't want to believe in the Most High. Go ahead, read a little bit more.
Verse 6.
Yeah.
Whereby the world that then was, being overflowed with water, perished.
That was not Noah's flood. That was before Adam. That world was flooded out. Go ahead.
Verse 7. But the heavens and the earth, which are now, by the same word are kept in store, reserved unto fire against the day of judgment and perdition of ungodly men.
So let's understand this. But the heavens and the earth, which are now, there was a new heaven and the earth created after Genesis 1 and 1, right? The flood, World War II, so to speak, didn't wipe off the sun or the moon or the stars. They remained. It says, but the heaven and the earth that we're under now, this one that was created for Adam, we're under that one now. The flood didn't destroy it. He didn't have to recreate that. Everything just got off the ark. The sun and the moon, remember, seasons gonna go just like they was. Nothing was interrupted in World War II, so to speak, on earth. So let's read this again and you'll understand it. The world that then, Genesis 1 and 1 was over with flood. But the heaven and the earth we're under now is reserved for fire. The only way you can eliminate Genesis 1 and 1 from being a flood is this: you got to destroy the sun and the moon in Noah's flood. It's the only way that this will work for Peter if you think that Adam flood was the first one. But he's telling you we're under this heaven, the one that was restored for Adam. We're still under that. The flood didn't destroy it. But it was recreated after Genesis 1 and 1. Remember the sun and the moon created on the 4th day, right? So that's after Genesis 1 and 1. So that heaven, those stars are still here today after the flood. We still under that. Let's read it again.
Verse 7 again.
Yeah.
But the heavens and the earth, which are now,
go ahead.
by the same word are kept in store, reserved unto fire against the day of judgment.
Against the day of what?
The day of judgment and perdition of ungodly men. But beloved, be not ignorant of this one thing, that one day is with the Lord as 1,000 years. And 1,000 years is one day.
Verse 9, so we don't have to worry about his delay coming. He's not a deadbeat dad, y'all. He gonna show up. He told us when he coming back. We ain't got to be sitting on the porch waiting for him to come early. He told you I'm not coming early.
Right.
This is when I'm coming to pick y'all up. Why you sitting at the bus stop early?
Right.
Go ahead.
Verse 9.
Yeah.
The Most High is not slack concerning his promise, as some men count slackness.
And notice the only slackers count slackness. When y'all God coming back. tired of sitting at home, ain't you? See, that's what they're tired of. So they're trying to find a second coming early. But if you get up and go fill out an application more than just your name on it,
Right.
some things will change. You can't just turn it in Luther Johnson. Well, Luther, what do you do? I do whatever, player. And here we had M or F, and it says sex. You pick one, you put hell yeah. It didn't mean that. Sex didn't mean hell yeah. We want you to put male or female. We weren't talking about if you have it. Read some more, bro.
The Lord is not slack concerning his promise,
Yeah.
as some men count slackness,
Yeah.
but is long suffering to us, not willing that any should perish, but that all should come to repent.
Verse 10, let's see how it's going to come.
But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise.
Now y'all see the heavens being destroyed in this one at the second coming. So we got Isaiah 6:6. I'll create a new heaven and a new earth, for the former heaven and earth were passed away. So I got to do another one, a new one. Isaiah 65:25. When the serpent lay down, when the wolf lay down with the lion, and then the dust is the serpent's meat, then I will create a new heaven and a new earth, because we got to wipe this one out. It's contaminated with chemtrails. This earth is ate up with nuclear waste leaking up under it. It has to be cleaned up, y'all. This land cannot go into the kingdom. You can't. Times Beach couldn't handle dioxin. Pruitt-Igoe couldn't handle what they put on it. You can't take that into the kingdom no more than you can take wicked Negroes who believe a false prophet is still to be honored. We can hold that. Y'all, just these last one we're going to close on out. Y'all read 2 Thessalonians 2. That's going to be World War III against the son of the Most High and the son of the dragon, the Antichrist. 2 Thessalonians 2, y'all read all that. And then the book of Enoch, same Enoch 1, chapter 47 and 48. They're short chapters, but it's going to talk about World War III and who sits on the throne and who's going to be annihilated in that World War III of heaven and earth. But we just going to read just the beginning of just a few of Revelation 20, and we're going to call it. The last one, inside of Revelation, Genesis and Revelation, y'all, we want to call it. And we're going to call it after this. Y'all, if we have to go over the homework next week, we will. But we want to, y'all read that Enoch 47 and 48. And we're just going to read Revelation 20. We have all, but we ain't going to do all. Let's read 20 and, through 3, and then we're going to jump down to verse 6. And we're going to close out at verse 8.
The book of Revelation, chapter 20, and verse 1.
Yeah.
And I saw an angel come down from heaven, having the key of the bottomless pit and a great chain in his hand. And he laid hold on the dragon.
He laid hold on the Leviathan, which does that, can any earthly man lay hold on it?
Oh, with a chain like
with
a dog.
chain. Look, well, no, you can't do it with a pit bull chain. He'll bite through that. Go ahead.
That old serpent.
That old who?
That old serpent.
That old serpent.
Which is the devil.
Which is the devil,
and Satan. And bound him 1,000 years.
Now, 1,000 years. So we think the millennial may run 1,000 years, but we're going to be in the day of the Lord. It may be just one day, the millennial period. Because we're in that time realm. It may be as quick as tomorrow. The 1,000 years. As quick as tomorrow. We're in a different realm. Satan may only be locked up for a day. Y'all understand what we're saying? Because you're moving to a different realm. He has to be locked up so that sin will no longer be in the world while he's in there. You know the only thing left on earth? Pride. That's when the nations won't come up. They get no rain. That's not them disobeying law. It's pride. We tired of going up there. Sin is locked up. Satan is not saying to him, if I was you, I wouldn't go up to Jerusalem. Man, the hell with them. Ain't y'all tired of that's not, that influence is locked up. So it's just what's in you now. Man, why we got to serve them like that? Man, why do we think, man, I don't think we should go up there. I'm tired of going up there. Hell, they know they run the world. Right. And they got the servant. I'm sick. Pride, though, is the only thing on earth. That's what was in the heavens when Lucifer was not a sinner. It said pride. And he is the chief of them of pride. Everybody that you see that's prideful, poor man's pride especially, ain't got a quarter and a pot to piss in. You know that term.
Right.
Poor man's pride. You wearing the crown of a king and your pockets flat as the plains of Kansas. Read a little bit more of that.
Verse 3.
Yeah.
And cast him into the bottomless pit, and shut him up, and set a seal upon him, that he should deceive the nations no more.
He can't deceive no more. Why he locked up? Go ahead.
Till the 1,000 years should be fulfilled. And after that, he must be loosed a little season.
And then you go into the rest of the little season. Because if you make the first resurrection, that's resurrection, y'all. That's in another realm, so to speak. The first resurrection, because we read here as we go on down, verse 5. But the rest of the dead live not again until the 1,000 years were finished. This is the first resurrection. So when your dead is resurrected, they're back in supernatural state, y'all. You have to understand, so we're back where Adam was before he sinned. We're back before Lucifer was before he sinned. The only thing that can allow you to transgress God's commandments is the pride that dwells within you to see if you will obey God. He don't make us robots. He don't make us obey him. He give us free will. Y'all understand? Go ahead. What else to say? Just jump down to verse 7 and 8.
Verse 7.
Yeah.
And when the 1,000 years are expired, Satan shall be loosed out of his prison, and shall go out to deceive the nations which are in the four quarters of the earth, Gog and Magog, to gather them together to battle, the number of whom is as the sand of the sea.
So there's no nation on earth like China that have 2 billion man army. They could come up against you if you didn't use nuclear weapons on them and just regular handguns or M16. They could send waves after wave, and finally you're going to run out of bullets and be trying to beat them back with just an empty M16. 2 billion man army. And I want you to just think, they running with weapons too, and they just charge you. 2 billion of them. You see how Ukraine is fleeing from Russia? Because they can't keep up with the war machine that they bring into them. This is what Gog and Magog will bring also to this war. That many people with them. Foot soldiers. Go ahead. What else to say, bro? We're going to close out verse 10.
Verse 9.
Yeah.
And they went up on the breast of the earth, and compassed the camp of the saints.
The camp of who?
Of the saints about. And the beloved city. And fire came down from Yah out of heaven and devoured.
See, we ain't going to even have to fight because he told us we weren't going to fight no more. He said, I'll fight your battles from here on out. I didn't bring y'all back home to let y'all be captured again. Fire came down, lightning, and destroyed. When lightning, you can have a football team out here. Lightning can hit there. Everybody will fall over like bowling pins. The lightning will travel through the ground and knock everybody down and kill everybody. That's how powerful lightning is. Go ahead. What else you got?
Verse 10.
Yeah.
And the devil that deceived them was cast into the lake of fire and brimstone.
So notice he deceived them as soon as he got out. Deception came right back. Yeah. And where was he sent to?
He was sent to the lake of fire and brimstone, where the beast and the false prophet are, and shall be tormented day and night forever and ever.
So y'all, this is the end of the war. That's what Satan fighting against. This final blow right here. He know when he locked up, he gonna get one more shot at his war. He gonna try to use all the nations on earth that has nuclear power. I want y'all to understand that nuclear power. Notice who it named. China, Russia, and the Babylonian system, America and Israel, and the UK. Those are the 3 superpowers on earth. They have enough nuclear warhead to destroy planet Earth 100 times. And everybody on it. Remember the Messiah said, unless I shorten those days, there shall be what? No flesh saved.
Right.
Because believe it, you want World War III, Lord, you going to get rid of all us? Well, we going to get rid of yours. Start pushing buttons. And you got a maniac in there right now that's playing the button game, threatening with the button. And told that Zelensky, you going to start World War III. No, you going to start it. Notice the term World War III. It's going to go nuclear. You're going to make Russia launch, and then we're going to have to launch. And then the world going to end.
It'll be a wrap.
It's going to be a wrap. Let's get it. Where we at?
You want some more?
No, I want no more, y'all. So look, Enoch chapter 47, 48. Let's close out. What you got to about?
I had a question.
Yeah.
Somebody asked, I'm trying to scroll through. Somebody said something about, it was saying Leviathan in the scripture was being described as a male, and in the book of Enoch, they were being
Described as a female.
Well, it said in the water. So y'all have to understand, it said the strength of what's in the water is male. It said the water is masculine. It's sitting just a power of force. So it's just saying that from the perspective like the Holy Spirit is a woman in wisdom. But when you get into the book of John, it says he.
Right, yeah, right.
Y'all understand what I'm saying? So it's a switch of language right there. But Leviathan, that's why we went to Job to let you see the last verse of Job 41 that says he is the king of them with pride. So that puts Leviathan over there, or the devil, and pride again. But the 32nd chapter of Job 40, it says Behemoth is the chief of all the ways of God. So we know the difference, but both of them deal kind of in shallow water, the reed for the dinosaur, and deep water for Leviathan, because he's to the point that where you using fishing instruments. Can you draw them up with a hook? Can you use, you know how they do them fishing contests with that fish they be catching with that long nose, that spear nose, and it takes, y'all know what that is. What do they call them? Yeah, no, but no, I'm saying when you,
Sword
that fish.
Sword
That they call them mandarins or something, but it takes you an hour to reel them in.
Yeah.
And they say, can you do that with Leviathan? You couldn't do that with Leviathan with a rope that's holding the Golden State Bridge up. He'll snatch that out of your hand. This is what is just trying to show you the power of Satan. You're not going to get Satan with little hooks. You're not going to play him like a sucker. You're not going to join his organization and think you done beat him. He's going to work you till you dead. The contract is the same. The Most High work you, labor for the word, and you live forever. He give you your gifts now, your so-called disobedient gift now, but he kill you at the end. You got to go in the lake of fire with him. But he tells them that up front. But because you got naysayers saying, how long before your Lord comes? Man, you'll be through with that wickedness. Man, 10 generations could be hunching with no drawers on before he come back. And that's what happens. Because they're saying he's delaying his coming. So let's get wicked as hell as we can. He ain't coming back. Man, come on. Same way somebody tell you come out of the house when your mama say stay in the house. Man, your mama ain't going to be back, man. She get off at 5:30. It's 2:30 now. We can have a bunch of fun before she get back.
Right, get a tail whooping in the end.
Boy, look here. While you in the midst of fun, somebody look up and say, "There your mama." Oh, right. And you outside the house.
It's over now.
What we got to about? Who is that hollering? Oh, they know about that. We got any questions and concerns out there?
No, they just saying that's
Want to thank y'all again for all y'all doing. We do have the Holy Day of Purim coming up. That's this coming Thursday, March the 13th at sundown. We'll be down here, y'all, from 4 to 7, getting the homeless bags together. We got 200 bags we got to give out. Thank y'all who donated that we can buy supplies to give out to the homeless. So we'll be down here, y'all. For any of y'all can make it just 4 to 12. We got some stuff we got to divvy up and get it out. So we'll be down here Thursday, 4 to 7, I'm sorry, for the Feast of Purim. Y'all have, if for y'all don't come down, it still don't stop you from doing it. This ain't the only point. It says, have dinner with the less fortunate. Somebody you know may have been on a Roman noodle diet. Invite them over. Give them something to stick to their guts a little while. You know, let them understand that you're not rich, but let's have a real good meal and talk this over about the Lord and what this day is about. You know, and then we have 30 days after that is the Holy Passover, y'all, coming up. Saturday, April the 12th. Let us get prepared on the 11th of March, which is the 14th day, so to speak, of the Passover. We got to get ourselves prepared before the Feast of Unleavened Bread. We got to get the leavening out of here. That camp doctrine got to get out. That dentist doctrine got to get out. That Egyptology got to get off, if any linking out. Them YouTube videos got to get out. You got to get that leavening out before you mark your heart with the blood of the pure Messiah. You got to get them bad doctrines out of you. You can't do this when we break that bread and you got a Leviathan spirit still on you. That's pride. You think you can drink from that? Man, the hell with that, man. I drink. Man, say, I want to drink this.
Go on with your bad self.
Go on with your bad self. Yes, sir.
All right, family. We're going to get this closing prayer. And it's with the Most High's permission. And it's in the name of his only begotten and beloved Son, our Lord and Savior and our Redeemer.
Yes, sir.
Yahushua HaMashiach. But we know him as Jesus the Christ, family. Long live the King.
Long live the King.
Reading in the book of Psalms, in the 143rd chapter, it reads, Hear my prayer, O Yahweh.
Yes, sir.
Give ear to my supplications. In thy faithfulness answer me, and in thy righteousness. And enter not into judgment with thy servant.
Yes, sir.
For in thy sight shall no man living be justified.
Yes, sir.
For the enemy hath persecuted my soul. He hath smitten my life down to the ground.
Yes, sir.
He hath made me to dwell in darkness, as those that have been long dead. Therefore is my spirit overwhelmed within me. My heart within me is desolate. I remember the days of old. I meditate on all thy works.
Yes, sir.
I muse on the work of thy hands. I stretch forth my hands unto thee. My soul thirsteth after thee.
Yes, sir.
As a thirsty land. Selah.
Selah.
Hear me speedily, O Yahweh. My spirit faileth. Hide not thy face from me.
Yes, sir.
Lest I be like them that go down into the pit. Cause me to hear thy loving kindness in the morning. For in thee do I trust. Cause me to know the way wherein I should walk. For I lift up my soul unto thee.
Yes, sir.
Deliver me, O Yahweh, from mine enemies. I flee unto thee to hide me.
Yes, sir.
Teach me to do thy will, for thou art my Elohim. Thy spirit is good.
Yeah.
Lead me into the land of uprightness. Quicken me, O Master, for thy name's sake. For thy righteousness' sake, bring my soul out of trouble.
Yes, sir.
And of thy mercy, cut off mine enemies, and destroy all them that afflict my soul. For I am thy servant.
Hallelujah! Selah! All praises, y'all. Have a good rest of y'all Sabbath today, y'all. Appreciate y'all. If y'all got a shekel or two, we greatly appreciate it.